Jamil. The names you know and some names you are learning are shining bright in the latest edition of the only league where the fans call all the plays. We've got the most pivotal draft of the season on the way. Next, you, the fans, backflipping your way into the most important choices of the 2.0 campaign that is fan-controlled football. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Meskel here with you. We'll also check in with the commish. Ray Austin will hear from Josh McCouga as well. Now, Andre, the NFL draft gets started just a couple of hours out in Vegas. You were drafted way back when. How do these two events compare?
You know, I'll be honest with you. Just a little bit different than my NFL draft experience, to say the least. All right, it was 87th pick in the 2008 draft. I didn't come out with any music. I didn't come out with any smoke. I didn't come out be able to do backflips. They just called my name and shipped me up to Detroit. So I like this style a lot better than my experience in the draft.
And I got to ask you about the man-up challenge, too. What is it like to go one-on-one for the fans?
You know, it's amazing because I just think about myself going one-on-one, but I only did it for the coaches, right? Just to see if I was going to cut or get cut or not get cut. But for the fans, to showcase myself for everybody else out there, oh, it's an amazing feeling. It makes you just play just a little bit harder.
Now, Coach, we'll talk draft as we go along. Before we get there, the man-up challenge, it's not just for the coaches. As Flew told us, there's true value for the fans looking towards Saturday.
Absolutely. You can earn that very valuable power-up, which is a redo, a reset button, if you will, on a failed conversion after a touchdown. So, you know, it's critical. Or you could, if you have the defensive version of it, you can make them retry the conversion. So it's really, really valuable there. And it's more valuable, though, for these players. There's quite a few players out here that maybe haven't been drafted in weeks 1 or 2 that are hungry to get on a team and are eager to showcase themselves for the fans in what is essentially the final full draft of the season 2.0.
Yeah, no better opportunity to show you can do before the game action than here at the Man Up Challenge. Now, no one loves the Man Up more than Ray Austin. We check in with the commish up in his corner. Ray, your thoughts as we head into our final draft and, of course, the Man Up. You're in position. You're ready.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Listen, this is my drill. This is my ishnit right here. Like I deal with this every day. I love that one-on-one competition with these guys. And look, this is like the second or third day in the, you think about a draft. There's that first round and that second round, and then there's that second day. There's a lot of good players still out here, still trying to go out here and shine. We've got only about a handful of quarterbacks that everybody knows about. You got your Francois and your Ed Crouches and even your Stews, but there's still some guys that get a chance that have been at the lower bottom, have a chance to show the fans what they can do. We got some mismatches this week with some wide receivers against some linebackers, some running backs against some deep cornerbacks. That's what makes it so great, because it happens on the field sometimes. You get mismatched. And so this gives the fans a chance to see what really, building out that roster, building out that whole team for this league, man. Can't wait. Let's get going.
Now we'll check back in with Ray as the night goes along up in the commissioner's corner. As we look back at last Saturday, Flew, I know you were in the building. What stood out to you from all the excitement?
Yeah, I would say, first of all, I think Ray just said ishnit. I mean, I don't even know what that means. But anyway, but what stood out to me was realistically that all the teams have been getting better each week. Right. I mean, from the scrimmage start, then from week 1 to week 2, it's just like everybody is kind of finding their own individual role out on the field. And so that's what impresses me, the level of play on the field in the totality of the league.
So here's a look back at some of the action from this past Saturday, just week 2. As Andre hit on, these teams just starting to gel. Coach, you're around these guys all the time. How are they starting to come together as squads?
Oh, you can see there's a lot of togetherness. There's a lot of competition, though. You see the guys when they know they're on different teams now, right? The guys particularly that are tagged or franchised, and they take a lot of pride in those teams. And there's a lot of trash talk, not only between the fan bases, but the players themselves, which is a lot of fun. So, I think we've just got much more of that in store here with this week 3 draft and this man-to-man challenge here coming up.
Taking a look here at some action between the Board 8 Football Club and Andre, you played defense. When you look at this 7-on-7 in tight quarters, how challenging is it for the defense to track down QBs like Mitch Kidd?
Yeah, it's just tough because you never know either when the quarterback is going to throw the ball or pull the ball. I mean, you can throw it all the way down the field and get a touchdown. So it's really, really tough on the defense. It's really, really tough to be able to be okay with giving up points because that's just the nature of this league.
Yeah, it is an offensive-heavy league. Guys like Andrew Jamil have been a name for themselves. Here's what a lot of fans came for. Johnny Manziel rolling around in rare Jordans, hooking up with Terrell Owens. This was a fun sight to see.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I've said this. Terrell Owens deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. I'm going to tell you exactly why. 48 years old. He's making it feel good for the old folks out here, man. So I think he deserves something special.
And how about special plays? How did Galloway finish this one off?
I mean, look, getting flipped upside down on his dome and still be able to make a play down the field like that with that concentration, unheard of, unless it's in the FCF, of course.
Of course. It's only happening right here in the Fan Control Football League where you, the fans, call the plays. Now, let's check in with a close personal friend of Ladarius Galloway. Here's Josh McCouga.
Hey, everybody. Guys, excuse me real quick. What are you going to do? All right, listen. Galloway's a buddy. All these guys are buddies. Some are a little upset that I'm wearing a Bored Ape shirt, trying to represent every team in the league. We got some hot fan IQ coming your guys' way. The leaderboard is stacking up. You, the fans, call the play. Fans like Nerd E at the top of the fan IQ leaderboard at 6,998, 6,998 fan IQ points, followed closely by Kevin New, 360, 6,106, and Boykin for MVP, who is in the chat every single show. 5,700 fan IQ points. Fans call the plays. You earn the points. The players either love you or they get upset with you and run up to the booth and say, call a damn run play or call a pass play. It's all up to you guys here in Fan Controlled Football. Greg, you're looking fantastic tonight.
Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that. And those fan IQ names, I'm always impressed when he reads them without pausing because there's some names in there. They are deliberately trying to trick you with some of their handles. So well done there. Let's look at tonight's schedule, what's ahead. We told you it's a very important night between the Man Up Challenge and, of course, the draft. Here's how things will play out. First, we'll get started with our Man Up Challenge. As Coach Latta explained to us, there's value in this. The winners, either an offensive duo or one defensive player, they will carry in a do-over in the Saturday's game, and we've seen it time and again. The player that wins that, their draft stock goes up. Fans want them. It's part of the smarts you see here in the Fan Control Football fan community. We'll announce our franchise players, our keepers. Each team is going to get one more keeper to add. Then we'll get into our draft, and as we told you, Ray is upstairs. We'll have the Commissioner's Corner. He'll be talking with guys throughout the evening. And now, Man Up is first. How does it work? Well, it's simple, and it's new this year. Sean, I know you love the format. 2 20-minute clocks run. It flies by.
Oh, I love it. I mean, I love it. It's unforgiving. I mean, you can get exposed really, really quick in this deal. You're out on an island, and the conditioning comes into play. I think we've seen that with this new format where we haven't seen a lot of the long runs like I think we thought we've seen of guys stacking up a number of wins in a row. We've seen, what's the highest all year? 6, I think.
Is the mark,
We've only gotten to 6, and that was by a linebacker that did that, believe it or not. So it's going to be really, really interesting here to see how these guys do tonight.
So you're talking about doing that in practice for the coaches. Now when you have so many eyes on it, what sort of pressure comes to mind to try and make those stops?
Well, you know, this is actually good practice for pressure situations. Like, I think the guys need to look at it like this. I mean, look, you're one-on-one. You got to look another man in the eyes, but this is not the game, okay? What really, really matters in order to win the championship is the game. So they have to look at this like another practice session to be able to learn how to handle that pressure when it comes to a real game.
So we'll have 2 20-minute halves on the way, and then our top finishers on offense and defense, they go king of the hill, best 2 out of 3 to determine our winner. Let's meet all of our competitors tonight as we send things off to our public address.
It's a sign of desire, design of the perfect fighter. I take you higher with a mission to inspire my sign of desire.
All right, let's do it. It's the FCF Week 3 Man Up Challenge. And here are your offensive pairings. At quarterback, number 3, DeAndre Francois.
blood.
And a wide receiver, number 1, James Harden.
The money or the fame, just respect the name. It's simple to explain, no pain, no gain. Stronger than a hurricane in Cali. When
At quarterback, number 8, Brandon Pearson. And a wide receiver, number 84, Daniel Hoffman. Quarterback in number 14, Danny Southwick. And wide receiver, number 2, Terence Williams. Quarterback, number 3, Jason Stewart. And wide receiver, number 14, Drake Wells.
I bring my A game to the training camp.
Quarterback, number 12, Chris Barrett. And a tight end, number 80, Chris Ross. Quarterback, number 5, Ed Crouch. And wide receiver, number 11, Jordan Williams. At quarterback, number 4, Vidal Woodruff. And his super back, number 28, Malcolm Ballard. At quarterback, number 11, Dentarius Young. And wide receiver, number 13, LaMarcus Carradine. And now, on defense, a linebacker, number 52, Cecil Cherry. Defensive back, number 23, Marquil Osborne. Defensive back, number 29, Sam Brown. Linebacker, number 50, Kyle Goodby. At defensive back, number 31, Deshaun Benton. Defensive back, number 38, Marcus Clayton. Defensive back, number 12, Julian Charles. And a defensive back, number 26, Ben Hunt.
So there you have our participants for our Week 3 Man Up competition. And Coach Latta, you hit on it earlier, but some players here that fans might not have seen a lot of through Weeks 1 and 2, an opportunity to prove themselves.
Sure, particularly you look at that quarterback group, you know, that bottom half of the quarterback group that was announced there. A lot of those guys haven't gotten a lot of real live game reps. So it's going to be a great opportunity for fans to evaluate them here tonight.
And Flu, how do you show what you can do without really pushing too hard?
Yeah, it's a delicate balance, you know, to try to show off, but not show off too much, because again, you don't want to do too much and ruin your chance that you have in the spotlight. And it's a slippery slope that can happen. So it's just staying calm, staying poised, stay collected, but then staying true to yourself.
And we were talking about fatigue earlier. In your mind, from a defensive standpoint, how many reps before you start to get real tired?
Oh man, I gotta say, you're feeling it. Third rep, you're really feeling it. I mean, like he's running full speed right there. Third, 3 of those, he's done.
So the first stop is there for Cecil Cherry going up against James Harden, who's working with DeAndre Francois. Remember, in this format, you're just looking for the longest streak. So we'll cycle through the offense and defense until someone builds a streak. Cherry now looking for 2 in a row. Here's Pearson working with Hoffman.
Oh, there we go. See the issue right there. What he did perfectly, he stayed poised. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You can stay collected, stay poised, you can make the play.
And he's probably one of the more excitable guys in the league, so he's fired up right now for sure. You know, we're going to see. He's got a tough matchup here, though. We'll see.
He's got 2 in a row here. Southgate working with Terence Williams, the former Cowboy. A little too far. 3 in a row now for Cherry.
Yeah, you know, what happened was he was an ant stomper off the line. What it means is he was chopping his feet. You can't just sit there and chop your feet off the line. You have to go get into your route.
Now we're up to Drake Wells with Chase Stu. Wells, good move. And a pass off the mark. 4 in a row
We're
for
seeing
Cherry.
a lot of inaccurate balls,
Yeah.
so have aided Cecil Cherry here. Let's be realistic.
They
Let's
have,
be
because
realistic.
He is
here.
done
He's
out there. He is toast out there, fatigued.
He'll take it, though. He's built 4 in a row without much work. Rob now. And
And
the
there
streak
you
will end
saw
there.
it. There you saw it. The tank was on E right there.
As we say, his oil light was on right there, okay?
So next defender in now, Marquell Osborne. So now it's the offensive group here. Barrett trying to build on a second conversion with Rob, the tight end.
See, that's tough. You know, that tight end got to get separation there. You know, you can't allow him. He was stuck to him like glue on that thing.
Yeah, you'll always hear me talk about chopping your feet off the line of scrimmage. It just doesn't help anything to get separation.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere. You're moving nowhere.
It's like being on a treadmill. Here's Williams.
I've been impressed with that coverage there. That coverage has been excellent by him the first 2 snaps here. I'm going to see if he can run off a streak here. We'll see what his conditioning's all about against a running back here. Against Ballard.
Stayed calm. Stayed relaxed. Eye control. People don't know how important little things like eye control, staring at your opponent's chest, not his eyes.
Stayed in phase, did a really good job.
Here's LaMarcus Paradine working with Dentarius Young. Long route and too low.
Got away with a little bit of a hold right there, but hey, I'm a defensive player. I don't mind if they don't call it. It didn't happen.
Oh, then you're going to love this league because they keep the flags deep in their pockets.
Pretty deep. Deeper
That's
than
4
I
in a
keep
row.
my wallet when I'm supposed to pay for dinner.
4 in a row for Osborne, looking for 5.
He's
Make it
been
5.
impressive. He has been impressive as heck out here so far. How many is that now? 5? 5. Here we go.
All right, let's see if he can get
Here
it.
we go. He's got a matchup here, though.
Okay, he got a little water break. All right, they
All
gave
right,
him a little water break. We'll
little
give him
water
that.
break, little 20-second time
There we go.
out there. They took a quick 20.
This is Hoffman. That's not going to work. 6.
That ball wasn't even in the field of play anyway. That wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered if he didn't cover him at all because that ball went out of bounds.
What makes him special is the way he uses his hands at the line of scrimmage. He shuts down the route before it starts.
Looking for 7 to set the record so far. Not going
We
to get it.
stay at 6.
Stay at 6. So that's tonight's high water mark. That equals what Alex Bush did in week 1.
Very impressive. I thought that was a very impressive streak he ran off there. Like Flu said, I think he stayed in phase on a lot of routes. Didn't allow his eyes to beat him.
So Marquell Osborne with 6. That's the mark to beat. And now just falling down. And there's a flag.
All right, ref. You know what? I'm not going to sit here and complain about the refs because we both have on black and white. But I'm going to sit here and complain about the refs because he tripped over his own feet.
You're right. You're exactly right.
Let's
I
take a
didn't
second
see
look.
anything there. I don't.
Talk about deep pockets. Somebody may have been reaching into their pockets for the ref right there.
Yeah, I don't see that.
So in this drill, any sort of flag, it just awards the conversion to the defense.
Catch. Drake Wells.
Now, was the catch in the end zone? I couldn't see it from because it has to be in the end zone,
He's
correct?
got to have
Correct.
1 foot. But in our league, he can actually have 1 foot out and 1 foot in, and it's still good.
It's still good. Okay.
It doesn't matter which one goes out first, if that makes sense.
Running clock here, 5 minutes gone by. A little pull of the jersey there, but nothing doing, and the defensive stop
And hey,
is
that's
made.
why we're glad we have those Russell Athletic game jerseys. They are built really well, really sturdy. Great sponsor here for the league.
Kyle Goodby there defending.
That's a good route. That's a good ball there, too. Like Chris Barrett.
And Rob able to haul that one in.
You know, I don't wear jerseys often, but when I do, only the best with Russell Athletics. All right?
Coach, you may have found your rival here in the pitch man
That's
down
right.
the end with
We're gonna be
Andre.
a good team here. I can't talk about great clips, though, because I don't get haircuts. I just saw great clips come up.
Me and you both. Oh, that's easy money for Rob.
Oh, yeah, and Chris Barrett is now running off a little string here. And Chris Barrett is a guy who has not been drafted to teams so far this season, so it'll be interesting to see what happens if he can play himself onto a team.
And he had a tough go last time out on last Saturday. A couple of picks there late in the game for the Zappers, so good to get back in the flow here. Looking for his third in a row with Rob.
Oh, he was reaching for that flag. I thought he was going to pull it.
No call on that. Hold on. So that's a no call, but the one before earlier was a call. Come on. What are you doing?
I'm wondering if he doesn't have the flag because he was reaching for it like he was going to pull it.
The holster was empty, maybe.
Yeah.
There's a grab. Nice route there for Jordan Williams.
Yeah, that's just a good route. Just too much speed at the top end of that route. So
yeah, Jordan
nice
Williams
route.
is tough. He's one of the top guys on the draft boards right now. He's a primetime player here in the FCF.
There's Julian Charles now defending. And Shreveport, Louisiana. 6 is the mark to beat defensively. Couldn't haul that one in. A dive there from Williams, but not there.
So I'm going to give you a little bit of football knowledge here, okay? Quarterback is the hardest position on the field. There are 2 positions. All right, I'll let them go.
I'll go play ball.
Oh, right
takeaway.
there. Takeaway, interception. Cornerback and offensive tackle are actually the same position. The 2 hardest positions. You got to react to a man. So when I'm saying wide receiver is the easiest position. So I'm surprised that there aren't more touchdowns tonight because the defender have done a good job.
Absolutely.
The contact, a flag comes all the way in.
That came from Stone Mountain.
Yeah.
Way out there.
Need to get that ref in the drill, the arm. So PI, the call that will keep the receiver on. Carradine working with Yon. Ben Hunt on defending. Up top, knocked away.
That's a
Hunt
great
coming
job.
over.
Fantastic on the line of scrimmage. I thought it was beat, but got his hand at the last second. Were able to knock the ball away.
And some of these quarterbacks just aren't getting a real good feel for the location of that ball. That wasn't a great ball. That thing hung up there too long.
Harden, quick maneuvers, bounces off his helmet. It's Hunt was
Now,
closing
that
in.
had to be pass. If the others were pass interference, I don't know how that one was.
I don't know what we're calling tonight. You know, they say the easiest job in the world is a referee and a weatherman. You just make a choice, right?
A pass to nobody there.
Yeah, that was a big tie-up at the line of scrimmage.
That looked like a little miscommunication. That was an option route. He broke in. The quarterback was expecting him out.
Southwick back on with Terence Williams. Terence Williams, very possible high draft pick. Williams, one-hand grab.
That's good
and
location, too. That's a heck of a catch. But that's again, the touch on that ball and dropping it where only he can get it with the timing. It was a great job by Danny Southwick.
Starting to see quarterbacks getting a little bit warmed up with a pass like that, so I like what I'm seeing a little bit.
Let's check in upstairs in the commissioner's corner. Ray and Slick Nick are standing by. What's up, guys?
Man, we lit already. We already just watching the defensive players. They really showing out. They showing out. Cecil back onto it. He got his rolls going. I mean, look, this is where you can really show your ability right here. I mean, we got former NFL guys that some of these guys are going up against, and they are out here holding their own. Shouts out to Ben Hunt, Cecil Cherry, Marquell Osborne doing his damn thing today.
Playing in the right position, playing with your hands. You know you're a bigger guy, so you have to be physical. Love what he's doing out there.
Oh! Another
Big man
great
Rob.
ball.
Yeah,
Another really good location there by Chris Barrett.
Yeah, great ball on that. And if you watch him off the line of scrimmage, I call him the wizard because he uses his hands and puts the defender to sleep and then gets into his route. So that's my wizard right there.
Here's Barrett, as coach told us, trying to earn an opportunity come this Saturday. Working with the tight end, Rob.
Oh, yeah, he caught that thing.
Oh, that counts. Rob sticking with it.
The wizard pulling the magic tricks out.
You're right with those hands. That was the magical hands right there. Yeah, hung with it. Great concentration. Great concentration by Chris Rob.
I could barely hear you. That was a lot.
So 2 in a row here for Barrett and Rob, looking to build, try and set the new high water mark.
No call, no call. I mean, look, there was a lot of contact right there.
They
but
ran out of flags.
And you told that issue now.
Lots of contact at the line, but breaking free and hauling that one in. Well done, Gordon Williams.
Very nice comeback route right there. You know, knew he was beat on the line of scrimmage, but able to come back level.
Williams, a newer addition to the FCF out of the Buffalo, New York area. Long way around. Comes up with
great throw by Ed Crouch. You know, that's the People's Championship MVP from last year. He's starting to come into a groove now. Was a late guy into camp for us. You know, didn't really get rolling until a couple days before the first game, but you're starting to see him really come around.
Dr. DiCatrio in the chat. What a dot. And that was on point from Crouch. Falling
There's
down,
another
defender down, receiver takes advantage. And how about Deshaun Benton there just slapping the turf?
Yeah, you can't slap the turf. You can't let them know that you're upset. You got to just get up and just take it on the chin, get back to the next rep. You can't do that.
Hey, it ain't the turf's fault. This is a really good turf here in the FCS. We have a great turf company, too.
Go.
Your little fatigue setting in with Jordan Williams. He's usually really explosive out of his breaks, but that time just the legs were just done.
So now we're back to the super back. Ballard working with Woodruff. Oh, good separation. Someone lost a shoe there around the goal line as well.
And Ballard's a guy that a lot of people are going to have their eyes on tonight because he is one of very few super backs who are available to be drafted, I believe. So he's in that select group that's not already tagged somewhere.
Ballard calls himself Sir Gump. Greatness under major pressure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, great catch.
For it. Beautiful.
That's a big-time catch right there. You know, and our guys at practice going to these net drills, and that's what they practice, you know, making those catches away from their body, behind their body, twisted into different positions, and that's a net drill catch right there. That's a big-time play.
I'm glad you talked about practice with that, too, because a lot of people think that just happens, but that is the result of a lot of repetition on a play like that.
Absolutely.
Ballard getting bumped. Got a little separation there at the end, but the ball was away.
Got to give him a shot. Got to give him a shot.
Yeah, I understand putting it to where he can only get it, but you got to put it to where he can get it. So got to give him a shot there.
That's
like
when they talk catch radius. It got to be in the radius still. I mean, you can't. Oh.
They say he didn't get off to get that football away. The long.
Yeah, Carolina just taking too much time. You're going to hear this all night. You can't stomp in the ants. Get into
quarterback against, say, Slick Nick on defense. Get that thing out faster than that. So
there's James Harden able to pull that one down. Harden at wide receiver at super back this season whenever his team has needed. We're back to the start of our defensive group with Cecil Cherry getting us going. Cherry against Harden. Harden with the speed. And takes advantage.
Drop that thing in.
Dropped it right in. I'll tell you, I like Cecil Cherry. I like his intensity. I like just the way that he goes against. He knows there's a speed mismatch right there, but still is not backing off. I like Cecil Cherry. I like that rep from him.
He's a great guy for the league. He's a great guy to be around. Just a wonderful young man, and just really good to have him in the FCF for sure.
Under 5 minutes to go, first half. Remember, 2 20-minute halves, running clock to figure who can put together the best.
Oh, he
streak.
got him in trouble there.
Didn't get rid of the football in time.
So if you had to guess what I was going to say that he did at the line of scrimmage, what would you all guess? You'd probably say that he was stomping ants, okay? Same deal.
That's a little behind. Trying to go back of the end zone was Pierce.
What's up, Knights? It's draft night. Let's get it together. I see we got a couple people in the chat already. We got the committee coming on tonight. Guys, we have a lot to discuss. For starters, how about we talk about the fact that the lag between the FCF stream and what we're putting is ridiculous. I mean, I've got Toby back there like literally doing count checks for us, and it was like 30 seconds at some point. So we're going to mess around with that a little bit, see if we can get that fixed today, because it just doesn't make sense. We've got the plugins now put in there where we can see the voting options coming up. Either way, everybody in the chat, appreciate you guys being here. Get your FCF app ready so we can vote who we want tonight. We've got a plan. We really do. The committee came correct this week. We met with our QB1. We've talked to our newly franchise tagged wide receiver, Yeti himself. We've been talking to West. A lot of stuff that we've put in play for you guys for tonight. I would love to know in the chat. I already see Queen Porto's already thrown out Hollywood all day. Love to see in the chat if you guys have people that you're interested in seeing. Who are you hoping for us to grab in the draft? But guys, tonight it's all about having fun and building up a franchise. We're gonna have Zook stopping by. We got Toby coming by. We got Buckets, Coach Richie. Whoever wants to come in can stop by so we can talk. But the biggest part of right now, guys, is making sure that we are able to come together and get the right pieces. Matter of fact, let's try this and see how bad it is. All right. We'll find out right now. You know what? I'm going to check in with Toby. Toby, you back there, bro?
Yeah, what's going on? Just watching some man up.
Nice.
Crouch and Jordan Williams are looking nice.
Oh, man. Looks really good.
I think they might still be in the lead. They definitely were at some point.
That's awesome. Dude, we've got a lot, right, that we broke down this week and players we want to get. How bad are we looking on the lag right now?
Well, it's hard to tell because the FCF stream just says zeros. It's probably like 15 to 20 seconds at the moment.
All right. So we'll keep this up on the screen so people can see what's going on while we're talking. But let's grab Zook. What up, bro?
What up? What up? How we doing?
Yeah, look at Zook, man. He got a taste of FCF this week, and he's all in. He's like, let's go. It's draft night.
Yo, I'm legit all in. I'm like, the amount of people that I've told about FCF this week is just like nuts. And like, it's the easiest thing to sell to people that like I'm friends with because like it's legit right up our alley. Like we're the type of people that for the past like 3 weeks we've been like debating the draft that's going on tomorrow night, like the NFL draft.
Right.
So, like this legit is like right up our alley. And I told them like they didn't even understand. Like, I was like, yo, it's an app that you can get an NFT and pick the plays, and they're like, holy shit. So I think I'm gonna sell like 10 ballers between like now and Saturday potentially to my friends that I'm seeing this weekend because they were kind of all about it. So I'm excited.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's funny every time people are like, so explain it. I'm like, do you play franchise mode in Madden? They're like, yeah. I was like, how would you like to do it in real life? They're like, yes. And that's my pitch for the FCF.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well,
that.
we've got more people that are going to be jumping in on the stream throughout the night. Let's talk about some of the franchise tags, man. Right?
Yeah.
We saw the whole thing came out today on what people were drafting or who they franchise tag, but we made the right move, man. We got ourselves Yeti. Yeti is the way to go. He's been a constant producer for us 2 weeks in a row. The chemistry with him and Ed is a no-brainer, at least from where I stand. I mean, what do you think, Toby?
Yeah, I mean, Yeti's been at the top of my board this entire time. It's just been like if people tuned in to the draft night last week, the reason that we went Hollywood was because we were looking at how people were looking at Yeti through their eyes. We knew where he was, and but we needed to shore up Hollywood. And this, now we've got to the point where the verdict's out on Yeti. Like, we can't wait any longer. We know that somebody's going to pick him up because he's produced 2 weekends in a row. He's had 2 touchdowns on that. He's basically running that DZX deep post corner, and he's just fantastic at creating that separation in the end zone. So it's going to be, something that we're going to have fun watching this season for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Zook, I mean, I know you've been kind of just checking things out recently. What do you think about us franchise tagging Yeti? We officially landed him today.
It's an interesting decision. Look, there's a few different things you can look at. Obviously, I think the 2 major ones were Yeti versus Herring, who showed out also last week. Putting your thinking cap on, looking at the type of field and game that the FCF is and provides, Herring has a lot of pluses when it comes to his size, his wingspan, the ability for him in smaller, tighter fields, which is the FCF, to kind of box people out, give Eddie a bigger target in the end zone to kind of reach it. But like you said, Jigga, there's a lot of, athleticism, different times, different measurables, but a lot of what matters most between receiver, for the value of a receiver is that relationship between receiver and quarterback. And you said you can kind of tell with those semi-timing routes that Crouch feels very comfortable throwing it to Yeti. Another interesting thing I noticed looking into him on the back end is he played at Sam Houston State. And I'm a big college football fan, and that's no powerhouse of a school, but I do know that Sam Houston State has one of the most up-tempo and high-scoring offenses in the country on a year-by-year basis. So he has that ability to play in that up-tempo, throw, air-out offense if we ever needed to play that style late in the game.
Well, I know this guy who just checking in with us. He was a big Yeti fan too. So, guys, let's bring on Mike. What up, Mike?
I'm a big up-tempo fan, so I'm with
you. Right?
Well, let's just slow it down, then. I'm a slow it down fan. I'm a fan for whatever is needed.
So you're really like a chameleon. You just go with whatever the mood is at the time. That works.
Yeah.
Bro, how do you feel about us locking down Yeti?
I love it. I think, again, team chemistry, I know you guys were just emphasizing it, and we talked about it so much, is vital for the play, but also it's more fun to root for the guys that we like, that genuinely want to be part of it. And Yeti is that, right? So we have that, and then every other, like even the line and the defense that switches, they feed off of that core chemistry and energy. Like what we were talking about with Ed, like guys come in and want to play with us and want to block and want to do all that stuff. So like it's way beyond just the chemistry between like Ed and Yeti. I think it kind of springs and sprinkles out for the rest of the team as well.
And
Yeah.
I just posted this article in the chat if you guys want to read Yeti's story. He was a walk-on at Sam Houston State, and then he went on to lead the conference in receiving yards, receptions, touchdowns. So he's legit, like, no joke. This guy's a baller.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you watch the film, I know Toby has like crazy, and we've discussed it for hours at a time, but he just seems to know when's the right time to make a move and get out to make sure he finds that open spot for Ed to have, right?
I actually think we haven't
I'm seeing a lot of these other
scratched the surface
receivers. I agree.
Like yet, honestly.
And think about it.
think-
He's
I
now
think
just
at the end of
recovering
the
from his
season,
groin
people are gonna be like,
injury,
how is he, whatever, 4th round pick in week 1? Then he was a 3rd round pick in week 2, right? Like we didn't draft him super early. People are gonna be like, how did he slip through the cracks?
I think a big part of it was a lot of people caught wind of the minor groin injury, and they didn't want to take that risk. We felt differently. We felt like, talking to him and the meetings we've had, he felt like he was recovering great. It wasn't really hindering him. But I will say the last conversation I had with him today, he said, if you guys were happy with week 1 and 2, we're about to get it in week 3. He's feeling really good. He's been healing up. Ed, our own quarterback, forced him to sit out of practice 2 days ago. Was like, nah, we good. That chemistry's there. Sit down, relax. We're gonna focus on healing you at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, even that first touchdown he threw in week 1, like Ed had to throw that ball so early, and he probably threw it with 20 yards still to go until Yeti actually got to the position where he caught it. And it was like even before chemistry was really building, there was already this inkling of chemistry that just was there just to begin with. So I think it's gonna be great. I know it's going to be great.
And the interesting thing about, making this 3rd round draft pick now is we have Ed, we have West, we have Yeti. Now we kind of have the pillars at each spot where the rest of the team now is legit. Hey, we're not picking best player available as much as we're playing. How do other receivers fit what Yeti does? How do other receivers fit how West plays? How does Ed like to throw? We know he likes to push the ball down the field a little bit. Now we're starting to learn more about players that are going to be here time and time again. So we have our stars. We have the guys that we know we can count on. Now it's about building those team-like players that can help those 3 do what they need to do, which is carry us to the championship.
Yeah. And we have room for more stars too. It's a week by week game, right? So we can certainly say we get, I don't want to even say names right now, but we get someone great at pick 5 and they could have 5 touchdowns in a week, right? It's possible for that. We can get another caliber of talent that can step up and really contribute big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing with Yeti too, with how much we like to push the ball on the ground with the read option and stuff. Yeti is consistently making contact first and really, making it a point to have a guy blocked. And eventually, we've had a little bit of difficulty running the ball, I would say, the past 2 weeks. But eventually, once we start getting that ironed out with the offensive line, we're going to start to see that second level blocking start to make it so West is getting these same plays that Galloway is getting. Because even on the hard runs, it's taken a lot of people to take West down. When he's going to get these, and some of it has to do with blocking scheme, which we're hoping some of that's getting fixed in this week. But once we start seeing where West only has 1 guy to beat, maybe even 2 guys to beat, and it's not in traffic in the D-line area, in the trenches, I think we're going to start seeing those breakout runs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
what I
do we
like
get
too
West
is
more involved in the passing game?
Yeah.
So that's where I was about to say, Mike, great question. So speaking to some of the coaches, they're implementing some new plays this week. So we are going to see some jet sweeps. We're going to see some receiver wide out runs, where they're able to break out and be more of a check down situation. So Coach Liotta is really excited about a lot of the plays that we're going to see. And a message I got earlier was like, hey, you guys were smart with the Yeti, not only because of how he works with Ed, but with some of these new plays, Yeti is that guy that you can move slot, move him outside, move him around, use him in a jet sweep. Yeah. So we're going to see him and Wes have a lot more opportunity this week to really be utilized. But makes me lead into my next question, guys. We're about 15 minutes out technically till the draft starts, right? But we know the man-ups run a little late. We've got the number 5 pick this week. Do we want to start talking about what our plans are with the community, or do we want to wait a little closer to the draft in case we got any snoopers in here today?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's going to take any snoopers to know that we
To
would like
know.
to run the team back.
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
So I think it's kind of just a matter of where is the teams in front of us looking to go.
Yeah, so let's start with the Zappers. All over their social, they're putting it out from their social account. Again, it might just be to throw us off, but these guys are in love with Williams, and he's actually doing pretty well right now in the man-ups. So that is one, and then a lot of talk around Hollywood being a guy that they're going after. Do you think a wide receiver makes sense there, Toby, for them?
I mean, when you look at how they play, they have position needs everywhere, and they pass the ball a lot. So it can make sense. They've got Terrell Owens, which doesn't seem like he plays every snap. You know, he's getting some plays here and there. They've got James Harden already that maybe can play that super back position if they really, get stuck. But I don't think they're going to go receiver. I've got them either going O-line to shore up an absolute disaster that happened to them last week. But at the same time, they drafted them in the second round. So
Toby, saying they have position needs everywhere is an amazingly kind way to.
Yeah, I know, right? It's very political.
They got some problems, people. They got problems.
I mean, last week when I jumped
Manziel's not playing
the...
all the time too. It's like they've got some stamina or endurance, or I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah,
they're leading the board of like social media views and Sports Center's made.
Yeah.
Which is worth something.
I mean, that's really
user play, they are definitely killing it at.
No, I mean, last week when I jumped into calling the game with you guys, I was talking about pushing it down the field, and people said, "Oh, Zook should be with the Zappers because that's how they like to play." So I guess that means that is a team that likes to push the ball down the field. So no matter who they have, I guess that means there always a chance that they would take a wide receiver, I guess.
Yeah.
So, exactly. And in no way do I want to bash them, but, they are a team since last year that's been known to be called the Madden Kids. Every play is a pass. You've got T.O. on the team. It's like you know where they want. They're throwing it. They're sending it out. There's not really a game plan. It's pass it, pass it, pass it. Last year, they were the one team that called Sex Panther more than any other team in the league. One, the name is hilarious. And two, it's one where all the receivers just go flying and you hope Johnny throws it up and someone catches it. So I would not be surprised to see them go wide receiver tonight, even though they really should be looking at other options.
Is Jigga just choppy for me, or is he choppy for everyone?
No. Yeah. I mean, that was great words, but it was choppy for all of us.
Oh, I didn't know if it was me or not.
Yeah, I was like just adjusting my sound.
Yeah,
but
yes.
I think in a clear way, Jigga said that the Zappers called Sex Panther a lot, and that's basically just streak down the field.
Yeah.
Play action streaks. Yeah, I mean, I think that a smart pick for them would be Malcolm Ballard, but for some reason Malcolm Ballard keeps falling. And
what's up with Malcolm Ballard? What's his deal?
He's a super back. I had him pretty, middle of the pack with a bunch of the super backs that are, Jacoby Baker and like Ladarius Galloway and Terelle West were the only guys I had kind of as that top tier. And then there was another tier really close behind him. But yeah, for some reason he had a real nice catch today in the man ups. So I'm trying to check to see if we can get a scoreboard up here. I know that Ed Crouch and Jordan Williams were leading at halftime for the offense. And then I think Markel Osborne was leading for the defense.
You want to just give a breakdown of what the man ups are for anyone that's not familiar?
Yeah, so the man ups is basically a replica of what they're doing for the 2-point conversions when they're in the game. So they're doing one-on-one, and the man ups that are done on Wednesday nights prior to the draft is they're basically battling it out 1v1 for power ups that can be used in the games. So you'll get a quarterback and a running back, or a quarterback and a receiver, sometimes a quarterback and a tight end, and then they'll get, matched up against somebody on defense. And if the offense scores, they get a point. If the defense stops them, they get a point. And they just keep tallying up that scoreboard for 20-minute halves. And then, at the end, they have like a final to see who wins to get the, gets the power-ups for the game. So, so we've noticed the last 2 weeks it's moved draft stocks a lot. It really can affect how somebody is looking at somebody. Like we could get a Devon Gibbons or Dantarius Yan or Jason Stewart, somebody that's not a franchise quarterback that's on the board, and they could get a power up, and that makes it so that a team like the Zappers may want to get them. But the Zappers are the only team ahead of us, at least, that don't have a quarterback. Oh, no, the Beasts actually. So the Beasts, too. I think that's that fourth pick, the Beasts, if there's a quarterback that maybe even Stewart, if he gets that power up, they may try and shore up that pick and not let him leave, even though they felt like he hasn't been the franchise guy.
Am I still choppy?
Nah,
No, you're good.
Oh, you're looking great and
right.
sounding great.
Nice little quick reset. Look, it works wonders. But hey, great explanation on the man up. Yeah, that was a big question. A lot of people in the community were like, wait, who was it we played last week? Why did the Kingpins get an extra one? Well, they had a guy on there who had a power up. So that's why they did have an extra power up than us. They used it because their defensive guy, I believe it was Roman Tatum, maybe. I forgot who it was.
Roman Tatum definitely won on defense.
Yeah. So because they have that guy, they get an extra power up, right? So let's be real. If Ed walks away winning this one tonight, our QB comes in with an extra power up, which would be really nice.
Yeah, and then we'd still have a chance to lock in a defense too that had a power up.
Exactly. Yep. So guys, let's talk about defense a little bit. They announced that the defense and O-lines will not be locked in this week, that we will have mini drafts for the next 3-4 weeks where we'll be drafting the D-line and O-line, right? Which changes a lot of what we planned on tonight, but a little bit, not much, right? Because we know who we want. But do you think that drops the defense and O-lines down a little bit as far as, hey, that's a priority like we thought right off the gate, knowing that you don't automatically
and
get
they've
them?
reorged the defenses a little bit too, right?
Yeah, they haven't announced major stuff, a couple of small injuries and then some guys that were moved around. But they said it was nothing that's going to be like mind-boggling, like, oh, no, we drafted this one thinking so-and-so was there. So real minimal.
You're not drafting the D-block and Slick Nick's on a different line.
Right, exactly. I love you said it that way because that's literally how I asked the question. Is Slick Nick still on D block? Let's be real. That's what you want to know, right? Give me Keith
and then I mean, there's other valuable players. Obviously, he's one that's more eye catching, but it doesn't mean that other players are not.
We know for a fact him, Nate Bresson, who scored that touchdown for us, and Keith Wainwright. All three of them are on D block, and those are three names I look at right away.
There's another guy on D block that's been getting my attention. He actually was playing O-line first, Rusty Baker, but he is like maybe the absolute best defensive end able to set the edge, like when options happening. Like he has just got like the technique down to a T on scraping down that line as it's leaving, but not bailing and getting caught on, a dive option that ends up being pulled.
And he has an interesting number choice, right? Am I remembering that correctly?
I believe so. I think you are remembering a number correctly.
Yeah, I'm not sure what number that is. Cool. So I know when Buckets gets here, Matt, he wanted to talk a little bit about defenses. But Toby, while we have you here for the night, man, before we jump into the full draft, obviously, guys, I'm big on if Hollywood is there at number 5 for us tonight, that's our play, right? We want to bring back as much as we can from last week, and that, to me, is a big piece. So, Toby, let's say Hollywood isn't there at 5, and we stick with wide receivers. I know you were breaking down a couple of receivers this week.
Yeah. We're going into some depth on the receivers that were still left. I would say, we were talking about these power-ups. Jordan Williams is with Ed Crouch. So if they win and they were in the lead, he would have a power-up. That may mean that he doesn't fall to us, but that actually bodes well for us getting Hollywood back. But I like Jordan Williams. We like Vance Leonard. It's good talent to be picking up in this first round for receiver, and the chances of one of those guys falling to us are really good, in my opinion.
So here's actually a Williams play, right?
Yeah. So Jordan Williams, he's number 14. So we just got to see. I think he's probably on the right side, like how we're looking at it. And yeah, so he's got. If he just would have gotten a nice ball from Francois, he's got that guy beat. And the reason I highlighted it was because he was going against Roman Tatum. So Roman Tatum's probably a I would say definitely a top 5 DB, probably top 3 DB in the league. But if you go like closer to the beginning, you'll see Roman Tatum is already giving him like a 7-8 yard cushion. He starts dropping back. So Jordan Williams catches, he makes up that distance pretty nicely when you got a full 40 yards. And it's probably
if that ball was
3 or 4
placed
seconds before. You can see he does something that's real similar to what Des Bryant does. Like he knows how the eyes of the DB is working. If you watch him coming forward after he takes that second break, he takes the break at the perfect moment where Roman Tatum switches his head. Roman Tatum's just a good DB. He didn't fall for it. But right there, he starts to move his head. But just that could be the difference between getting that extra yard. And if it's a nice ball, I think he completes it.
What was also nice about that play was, again, with the field being much smaller, you could see how both routes were working in tandem, where the receiver all the way on the other side literally stayed as wide as possible to give Jordan Williams enough time, like you said, to make that second move where he kind of tried to gain leverage on the outside to the cornerback and cut back in. So you do have to draw up ways to open up the field a little bit more when you have these smaller fields to take full advantage of these speed guys. So that's another thing to always consider when you're trying to build out the team. What are the other guys doing on the field when you're trying to get the ball in the hands of your star and playmaker?
Yeah, exactly.
And based on that play that we just highlighted, Toby, what I realized there too was the fact that, perfect example, if they had 2 big dudes really as their main receivers, right?
Yeah.
So that's where we really would see a benefit for us, is the fact that we have a Yeti. They didn't have that type of player that week, So it was really like 2 guys that are going out long, and you're hoping that your QB is going to put on the money every time. And in this case, that shot was not good. Here's another one that we have on Williams as well.
Yeah. Is this the second one?
This is actually,
Yeah, so he's going to be coming over. He's on the same side here. He runs a nice hitch that's pretty easy, but then he's going to get himself a nice little 8 yards and makes two guys miss. So he's not just going to be a guy that's going to be, blowing the top off. He also can be a guy that's going to run hits because he's getting so much cushion and, really create a pretty horrible decision or a horrible situation for the DB to try and cover both sides.
Yeah, I mean, you got to love the yards after catch,
Yeah.
Especially off such a minimal play. And in this league, that's huge, right? It doesn't need to be we need a 40-yard bomb every time for a touchdown. It's taking that time off the clock, getting those first downs. I mean, you see it right there. Pulls the first down and just extended that drive, which was huge. I think you sent me another one on him too.
Yeah,
right?
I got one more on him. I think it was a man up. It was just to show that he was real good at making cuts. And, while we're seeing it with him, with Ed Crouch right now. So we're almost kind of getting a little bit of a preview of what the chemistry
what they would look like.
I haven't seen a scoreboard though in a while.
How do they assign the man ups? Like, how do they assign the pairs? It's just random?
I'm not sure. It might just be random.
Yeah. So from what the coaches say, it's people that were performing great in practice is one piece. The coaches themselves pick who's going on. Based on what they were doing in practice. And they also play into fact who's being overlooked and not getting attention based on how well they did in practice, but not reflecting that in the draft. So they kind of earn it through their practice reps all week. And that's what puts them to where they are tonight.
Yeah. So
it's like a benefit spotlight to the players. They're like,
right. See their draft stock go up basically tonight,
Crouch and Williams, are tied in first. They're going right now. They completed one, so I think they moved to 4. But they're one of the teams to beat. They're tied right now. There's only a minute left,
which is huge. Here's the let's see. I'm gonna pull this one up. Here was the 2-point conversion going back to.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Did Ed complete that?
He completed one of them, but our stream's a little bit behind theirs. They've moved on to it's Vidal and somebody else right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is Jordan Williams, and I mean he's got 6 yards of separation. He made it look way too easy.
Yeah, and that was up against, is that Kane?
I think that is Kane.
That's a good
and
route.
Kane's a dope DB, you know.
He just
So
he forces him to have to bail inside, even though he's like a whole yard or two inside already. And yeah, this is like the equivalent of breaking someone's ankles in football. Like he's just got his hips all turned.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It was with ease.
So he's another one
Jordan's
of those guys
there.
to really keep
Like
an eye on.
if our boy Hollywood's gone and Jordan's there, is that the obvious play?
Well, so there was another guy that we also looked at with Vance Leonard. So he had 2 catches for 2 touchdowns. So I think he's definitely getting on some people's radars also.
As Hollywood in week 1.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Vance Leonard has got. I had a bunch of film on him. He's not afraid of contact to get the set a block for a read option or something like that. Or if another receiver's already caught something. And he's 6'5". He's probably the largest wide receiver in the league. So let's see, which one is this one? Oh, this was a drop. Or which one was that?
This is that corner fade that he ran in the outside here for the touchdown.
Yeah. So this was. I do have one concern with Vance Leonard is I feel as though it does not put 100% effort in all the time. Like you can tell he's like basically jogging the first 10 to 15 yards of that route. It's hard to tell because his legs are so damn long. Yeah. But Andrew Jamil takes like at least 3 steps to every step he takes. But then the ball's in the air and he just puts a little, another gear in and creates that separation without really having any technique at all. So the more I kept watching him, I was like, man, this guy's got like some serious raw ability. He's 6'5". He can move without trying. My only concern is that like if he thinks he's not getting the ball, he might not be going hard. And a good DB is going to take advantage of that at some point.
So I'll tell you guys now, I got a chance to see Vance at the combines before the season started. And my original take on him was he's very raw, very young. He has a lot of qualities like DK Metcalf, just hasn't realized his potential yet. Like perfect example, Toby, you saying if he comes off the line a lot quicker and not that kind of slow, lazy run in the beginning, I don't think there's any stopping him. And you know what? He did pull in 2 touchdowns this week, which was huge for him. And I was shocked he actually didn't get tagged. And the fact that I think he's there as an option really puts him up there for me with Hollywood and him being the ones that I look at as my first 2 picks.
Yeah. He could thrive even on the effort front. Like it goes back to our team, like the core 3 that we have and them setting the tone. Whereas like he might even like outperform his effort level of what he's been doing on a consistent basis.
Yeah. And guys, I mean,
not to derail it to a different, but have we seen Jordan Williams block at all? Like that's another element that I'm just curious about.
They just didn't really run a whole bunch. It's not that he doesn't have I never saw him shying away from contact. But there really wasn't a ton of film. He kind of got there a little late. So practice film, there is no blocking. But I didn't have what I would think would be concerns with that at all. I felt like they're pretty even.
I like Leonard.
Yep. It's just there's a huge height difference for Vance Leonard, and then there's so there's no routes last week where Vance Leonard caught that weren't fades. And I think it's because he doesn't run that first 5 to 10 yards hard. So the DB kind of knows what he's running already. Whereas Jordan Williams can get that quick hitch because the DB is got to give him 8 yards, 9 yards cushion because he knows he might get beat. But Yeah, Vance Leonard's he might have 3-4 inches on the guy. And I had a lot more film of Vance Leonard than I did Jordan Williams. But they're very close.
I just think he fits like he's very much I like when my wide receiver pairs are more complements instead of supplements in terms of them both being similar. Like Jigga said, like a DK Metcalf, like with Tyler Lockett, like that kind of complement type thing. So even though like all he can really run is those 9 route / fades, that really allows almost the rest of the field for West and Yeti to operate themselves. So even if quote unquote he's just a one-trick pony, but he's amazing at what he does, and what he does is kind of the most valuable thing you can do on offense in terms of big play potential down the field. Compatibility with the rest of the team, I like that in terms of X's and O's. And on top of, Mike kind of said it, I think with the team that we have, the effort part of it, when you kind of have 3 leaders that you can say one thing that each of the 3 franchise tag players have is that leadership quality. He could see this as like let me get on a moving train. These are guys that have my respect that I can't really come in and get my way per se. Like Yeti's the clear number 1. West is a clear number 1 type option coming out of the backfield. Everyone respects Crouch now. This is the kind of team that you could slide a guy into like that and get the most out of.
Here was a nice block
so that
there
was
on the pickup.
I mean, sorry there. Go, Jay.
No, go ahead, bud.
I was just say this was a nice one where he came in and I think it was a safety or a linebacker. Actually, I think it was Cecil Cherry. It was 54. Where he does not have any like reservation to hitting him. Like goes right into him, stops him dead in his tracks. It might be the largest linebacker there.
Yeah, I mean
that's Leonard.
That's Vance Leonard.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean
Bill Vance. Yep.
He's motioning into the slot there. And there's another one too where he hits a D end and he seals the edge for I believe a QB run. But yeah, you got right where his mouse is, and then hits him, basically completely stops him from going anywhere. And those type of blocks you really need because the schemes like we have a nice option that we have Crouch, so we can run that read option and have somebody be blocked just by Crouch's brain. But if we really want to make it so that like we're not just chipping away 3-4 yards, if we've got average O lines, if they're like basically all, evened out, that's what's going to be the difference between them breaking into 15-20 yard runs.
Yeah, due to this play style and there only being 3 offensive linemen, obviously more runs are happening outside of tackles. So it comes down to having wide receivers that can actually block to turn these 3 or 4 yard plays into 8, 9, or even 20 yard plays. So to see him do that, to me, that's just as valuable as seeing that 9 route where he went down the field and kind of took the top off, especially when we're trying to make the running back a focal point, right? So anything we can do to spring West is added value to any receiver that we can draft on top of their receiving ability.
Yeah, I agree. I have Vance Leonard over Jordan Williams. It's just going to be a matter of who would be falling.
The thing, sorry to cut you off again, though, but Jordan Williams, the fact that the cornerback gave him so much leeway is also such a crazy value as well, because you saw how easy it is for him to pick up 6 or 7 yards on any single play that he wants. So any like 3rd and 5, if it's like 4th and 2 and we don't get it and we know we get a 5th down, it's very easy to draw up a play for him where he's going to get that separation. So even though I'm leaning Vance Leonard, if he was to go, that like Williams is a great option. It's not putting one down to take the other.
Right.
Well, real quick, I just want to let you guys know. So the man up is over, right? We've got
yes, it is.
Carradine for the wide receiver, and the backup quarterback, Jan, who we're really high on as who we're looking at as a backup quarterback. This is a perfect situation where we know we have our eyes on him. Many people probably haven't, but now they do thanks to the man ups. His draft stock is going to go up, right? So it makes you question, when do we jump in and grab that backup quarterback? But hey, I see we got Matt backstage. What's up, Matt?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Good, bro.
Good. It's going.
We got
welcome
another
to the
guy
party.
jumping in. Hold on.
It's draft day, baby.
Oh, he couldn't wait. He's already calling us from the car. Look at him.
Drew in the
It's
shadows.
hiding in the dark, Drew.
Wait, so what, guys? I just got out of dinner. What's going on? Have we picked yet?
No,
We won the
no,
draft,
The draft
Drew.
hasn't started. We're discussing our
Wait,
receivers,
I'm
right?
sorry,
So you still have time.
If someone's
Drew.
breaking up, or is it me? I don't know.
Yeah, you still have time, Drew. The draft hasn't started. We're about 10 minutes out.
Starts at 8:30.
Okay, awesome.
And it's got our draft pick in 29 minutes and 30 seconds.
Guys, I'm going to duck out and get some food before the draft.
All right, sounds good, Mike. See you in a
Awesome
bit.
hanging.
Right,
See you
Mike?
guys.
We could take D Block with our first pick, right?
Yeah, but we shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because this is the
Well-
week where the offensive players we grab are locked in for us. So we're definitely going to give up one of the best, at least top 8 best available by securing that. This is going to be that
So is it
week
a snake draft?
Yes.
So I actually like better that we're towards the back half of the first round then, because we're probably going to get one of the first ones on the way back. I wish I knew I was coming on this. I would have done a breakdown of. I wish we could see points given up per defense, because I could see per team on the standings on the FCF website. But given how defenses bounce around, that's based on the game last week. Like, I just saw how important. I mean, obviously it's half the team, but it was our defense scored like I think 14 or 21 points last week. It was nuts.
Yeah. I mean, hands down. I mean, us as a community, I know we're all pretty still high on D Block, right? That's definitely the route we want to go.
Yeah.
And we've been honest from the gate, the committee and everybody. If we're able to bring back pretty much 90% of our core from last week, then we've done our job.
I'm pretty confident though right now.
we
that,
also.
I'm pretty confident that we can't go defense early. Like, we have to go. Like, this is the last week. This is the last week to reserve position players. So we got to go all in. Even if it's sacrificed a little bit, we have to go all in on position players and save O-line and defense for the very end. Honestly, I
agree.
I don't know.
We also had a late schedule change, so we're playing the Zappers now. So really, defense is probably a lower priority this week. Anyway. So we can make sure we get these weapons that we want in the first 2 rounds. Whoever falls to us, and make sure we get that value, and then shore up, what we need to field a team. So that's all we're going to need to do is field a team to win.
Based on how the draft
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Drew's got a question. What was that, Drew?
Two questions. So we've talked a lot about receivers over the last few days. Since this is the last draft where we really get the team locked in, we haven't talked about a backup quarterback or backup running back, and I know they're obviously not nearly the priority of the 2 receivers, but I think it's worth discussing because listen, we have a running quarterback, and if he gets injured, it could screw the whole season up. Now, I heard, I got to check my text messages, but I heard there was a new QB or something that people seem to like that just popped in. I got to check, but have we had any thoughts around who our backup QB or backup running back is?
So we have. We were just talking about that right before you came on. So there was a guy that we like. His last name is Jan as a backup quarterback. We scouted him pretty high. And we were proven right. He actually just won the Man Up Challenge tonight. So his draft stock is obviously going to go up a little bit.
Who did we have last week, Seth?
We had Laquan Horton. Laquan not coming back to the team.
I didn't love him.
Yeah. So Jan, we like a couple things about him. Obviously, his play style. He does get out of the pocket. He can move around. He's got a solid arm. But we also like the fact that our QB1 and him have a good chemistry together, and Ed's been working with him. So he's one of those ones that if he's available, we definitely want to look at.
Yeah, they went to the Heat Hawks game together the other night.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. And then in terms of running back.
Oh, guys, hold on. On the stream, waiver wire draft begins next week. Fans vote on one player to protect from waiver wires. Voting begins after Saturday's games. Player with least amount of votes per team will enter the waiver wire. Franchise players and keepers are protected. Waiver wire draft will occur on Wednesdays for the next 3 weeks.
Wow, that's interesting.
So we're in a situation again where we grabbed our first guy who we hope is going to be there at 5, and that's our franchise tag. But then we're going to be forced to drop people into a waiver wire.
Yeah, but
that kind of
so
changes the game.
Yeah, you got to assume that devalues our backup running back and backup quarterback.
Yeah.
It makes
Right.
it less important because like
because they're gonna get stolen if they're any good.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
like third receiver maybe too.
Well, our third receiver, which
yeah.
is actually our first pick today, he's never going to get drafted. He's never going to have the bottom of our team. He'll never be lower than our backup receiver, running back, and quarterback. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, we're getting so our second
the
receiver is going to be round 1, and then
Yeah,
probably
number 2 receiver will be round 1.
Our number 3 receiver, we have Yeti, and we only have Yeti. You're right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Round 1 is where we need to shore up our wide receiver.
Toby,
I mean,
do you have a top 5 like list, big board? Because when you're picking 5, there you go.
Yeah. So this was
guys. I'm hearing Williams is the guy. Jay Williams.
Jordan Williams.
Jordan, yep.
Yeah, so we were just talking about basically we've got Hollywood, Vance Leonard, and Jordan Williams as 3 guys that
Our top
all
3
give us, positive outlooks. And Hollywood would be a guy where we've got some chemistry that we can bring back if he's there on the board. So I think it's Vance Leonard and Jordan Williams were kind of in this toss-up of where would we go. There's pros and cons if Hollywood's not there.
Can you tell me about? So I know nothing about the Vance Leonard and the 5th guy. I didn't see the 5th guy.
Yeah, so Vance Leonard is 6'5". He is the tallest guy that's on the league, basically.
I call him I call him the raw young DK Metcalf.
Yeah, he's very raw. He's just got like this ability to make plays without even trying. Like last week, he had 2 catches for 2 touchdowns. They were both nice
that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Here you go, Drew. Check this out.
Week 1, he got no targets because he was playing with TO.
Yeah.
Right.
So
here,
so we got some film here.
Vance.
He is running that outside, and this was a real nice ball from Izzy. But he's just got like the guy number 21's in his face. He breaks it. The reason I had this on film too is because he had a nice swim move to get the guy's hands off of him, and he's just running a simple fade. Like he didn't even really do anything that electric other than some nice technique in the front.
Do we have footage of his other touchdown too?
Yeah.
Pull it up.
Yeah, I actually Vance Leonard I have the most footage on because he had such a good week last week. I think that if Hollywood falls to us like we think, then Vance Leonard goes immediately after us, goes back to the Glacier Boys, no doubt.
Yep. And that's if he doesn't get picked up number 1 from
Right. Yeah,
Zap.
so we have these 3 guys as we don't know who's going to fall to us. We're confident at least one of them is going to be there.
And is Yeti officially are we set for slot receiver?
No, Yeti's listed as a regular wide receiver, so we'd have to look at a slot as well.
He can play slot, but we have to draft a slot still, just because of rules.
Right.
Oh, that's annoying. I thought Yeti was our slot.
It hasn't made us draft a slot though in any of the other weeks.
Well, because last week we took Drake Wells and he is a slot. So
we autoed a slot this week.
Yeah.
I think they have him at a regular. Or no, hold on, I got it pulled up.
Yo,
But
Vance
yeah,
Leonard is
so this
great.
play here, we've got Vance Leonard's on the left here, and it's like the first 5 to 10 yards, he barely even tries. And then you see this like next gear kick in once he sees the ball in the air. Like he's really got no separation until he sees the ball, and then all of a sudden he just starts using those 6'5" legs and pulls away. And it was another nice ball. He just didn't even have to try. His 2 touchdowns were effortless. And we also have some film of him making some real nice blocks on linebackers and DNs.
I like him.
So my only concern with Vance Leonard was that I think that he doesn't give 100% effort all the time. He's got like you could see in that play on that touchdown, he didn't start sprinting until he saw the ball in the air, which can sometimes create some issues when you got like under routes for clearing that out. But Zook was talking about it earlier, and I agree that, when we've got a core 3 of Ed, Yeti, and West, that when Vance Leonard is there on the team, like they're going to be able to start to make that attitude of like, if we're running him on a fade, it's probably because we want to throw it to him. Like he's just probably like he's like, we just got to tell him like, if you're running a fade, you're always in the play.
Yeah. And then the other major thing is not the other major thing, but the other player that we've like seems like has not been getting as much talk. And I have a feeling, I have this instinct that he's going to be our second round pick. Is Terence Williams? It sounds like people are sleeping on him again all of a sudden.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
pro ball player.
I would agree. He's kind of dropped down my board also. I kind of saw some plays that I didn't really care for when I was watching them. There was one, if Jigga comes back on, where they were running QB sweep to the boundary. Terence Williams was out there, and he didn't even attempt to block his guy. So basically the guy got a free shot at Francois. Francois just made a nice play. But so this one, so all the way on our left side is Terence Williams, and he just runs right past his guy.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't even try to block him. And it was like,
let's just call a spade a spade. And this is just deep. This is just true analysis. Like, is a college football All-American star that had great success in the NFL going to block on every single play in the FCF? And you got to think about that when you're making picks like that. And we saw Vance Leonard block that guy like it was his, most important play that he's ever ran in his entire life. Because this football is the most important football he's ever played in his entire life. And those are some really, really significant factors to take into account when you're drafting these guys that we're saying we're drafting them high, because the way that drafts are going in the future, they're going to be forever players. So we need people that are going to buy into specifically how we want to play, which is now a team that we have 3 core players that we want to wrap our offense around. So to see guys who are willing to do the little things and the other things that don't show up in the box score will probably lead us to a much higher chance of winning a championship at the end of the day. So that's why when we see Vance Leonard blocking, he shoots right to the top of my big board. Obviously, if Hollywood isn't there.
FCF's big board right now, guys. Overall best available. Terence Williams, Malcolm Ballard, D-Block, Vance Leonard, Jacoby Herring, the Wall Shutdown Squad, heavy hitters, and Jason Stewart. I'd say I disagree with
I was going to say, so Terence Williams probably grades out really high in practices because he has great hands and great routes. He's a great receiver, but I
the
think
effort's not there
there's a
during
reason that he
games.
probably didn't continue to be in the NFL.
But I will say this though, when he played for us that first week, he kept coming up to us during the broadcast, being like, "Yo, I got my guy. Get me the ball." Like he wanted it. I thought that was interesting.
I agree.
I
like that too.
I liked seeing the guy like want the ball in his hands and like engage and be like, "Yo, like this guy can't touch me. Just do 3 wide receiver routes and get me the ball." And it was like, I thought that was interesting. There was like something there that I thought, he wanted it. Now maybe he's been frustrated. Maybe he's not playing as well as he wants to. Listen, if he's not dominating this league, it might get in his own head because he's a former pro. Maybe he's thinking to himself, shit, if I can't beat these guys anymore, maybe I'm done. So like, there is a potential that maybe it's like, it's been an up and down roller coaster for him. But at least that first week, man, I saw the attitude of someone who wanted the ball in his hands.
I agree with that, Drew, but it's still like you love a guy that says that, but then we see like he doesn't get the ball, and then we see highlights of plays where he's not blocking, and we keep saying that, now this team is going to be wrapped around Ed, it's going to be wrapped around West, it's going to be wrapped around Yeti. So realistically, he's probably not going to be the focal point of any offense that we try and run. He seems like a guy that would need to get his stats, get his targets, get his yards down the field to want to do all of the other things to his complete potential.
Okay. I hear you.
Guys, real quick, the draft is about to start. Real quick, we got our boy Yeti in the back. What up, Yeti?
Yeti.
Yo.
What's up?
Welcome to the kingdom.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Buddy, what's going on?
Yeah, we about to enter the tunnel right now. They calling the keeper out right now.
Yeah.
Our newest keeper.
Keep that phone on you. We want to see the run out, bro. We want to see it.
Y'all gonna walk out with me. Y'all gonna run out with me, man. It's gonna be dope.
We walking out right now.
It's gonna be dope.
So, guys, real quick, for the second round, are we saying that in the second round pick, are we? Oh, he's going.
They went off script.
Here we go.
All right, Yeti. Right now. Right now. So Marcus
That's
Terrell.
right. Let's
So
walk
the
out
thing,
with our
the thing
friend
I was going to
Seth
say
Seth.
about Terence Williams is that I don't think he's going to be there for the second round pick,
Oh my
especially now that I just saw Liata's
bro.
board that they've got him as the best available player in the league right now.
Yeah, that's a
So
big.
it's a possibility the Zappers scrap their whole plan and take Terence Williams #1 right now.
That's fair. So
I think if Terence Williams is available in the second round, that means the other receivers we're looking at are gone, and we would reassess at that moment.
So here's my question.
Yo, that shield.
If D block is available at the second round, is that an automatic pick?
I think so.
I don't know if I would say it's automatic. I think it matters if anyone is taking D block before that, because we've noticed D block does kind of drop later. I don't think that might happen this week. I thought Aoki was going to take D block immediately in order to block us out from them, but now we're not playing them, so that whole strategy kind of goes out. If our receivers are off the board and D block is there, I think we should go there. You know,
we had 30 plays last week on defense roughly, and there was at least 10 plays where Slick Nick got pressure.
Oh, totally.
But you know what's interesting about that, and it's a position we haven't talked about, is Crouch had all the time in the world and their quarterback had no time.
Yeah.
So how important is offensive line? And are you the one that's supposed to start the run on offensive line, or are you the one that goes for other positions and let someone else start it? I don't know this game as well as you guys. Which way should we lean on that?
The last week we got whatever line was given to us. Like we
Y'all
got
out here with me.
the worst line.
Y'all out here with me, man.
Yeah, let's
We
go.
did fine.
Here we go. Look at that shield. That shield's looking nice.
Oh, nice.
That shield looks good, Yeti. There we go.
Boom.
That shield is sweet.
I think the thing is
this is about as behind the scenes as you get. We're literally on the field with the guy.
Yeah, I'm on live. Are you funny as fuck?
Yeti.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeti, you ready, baby? You ready for the big weekend?
I'm tired, not shit. Oh, I'm sorry.
Carrying that shield.
This shield this shield not light, bro. It's a real shield, bro.
Not light.
It got the belt on it and everything.
That's real deal.
Ready to go to war.
It's a real shield.
Let's go to war, Yeti. We ready.
You on live right now?
I think the main factor with the D and the O line is we basically don't want Slick Nick on Ed. So if we have block, offensive line is less of a priority. If D block goes and we're
D
facing
block
them,
is almost like picking a defensive and an offensive pick in itself.
Do you wait to see what the team we're doing does, because we know these are going to be
I'm going to start.
redrafted?
I'm about to start strategizing now. I'm gonna talk to
Yeti,
you guys in a little while.
No doubt.
All right,
Yeti, let us
sounds
know
good,
if you
bro.
let us know if you like anybody, okay? Keep us posted.
Yes. We about to go over this real quick right now. I'm with Ed right now.
Go get him.
Sounds good.
All
All right,
so
guys, I'm gonna tell you right now. I took a phone call while Yeti was walking out, and it was Ed. He's gonna be jumping in here in a second with us. Ed wanted to recap who we thought our top 3 receivers were, and he agrees. It's Hollywood #1. If he's not there, we go Williams or Vance Leonard. He said those are the guys he's ready to throw the ball to with Yeti running all over the place.
all right, so that's that. Now,
We got Ed right there. What up, Ed?
Hello, how y'all doing today?
Hey,
Hey, you look good in that man up challenge.
Oh yeah, I told you. From here on out, it's over with. We unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
Let's go.
hell yeah.
Hey Ed, how'd you like throwing to Jordan Williams?
Oh yeah, we on the same page.
Yeah, I like that. It looked like
I like that. Jay Will.
We don't get Hollywood. We definitely going now.
Yeah, I think it's 1 and 2. It's clear to
There we
me
go.
it's Hollywood then Jay Will.
What about late round? Is
Just
Baby
like that,
Kirk
in that
in?
order.
Yeah. Now,
Good
guys.
job, boy.
I will check the draft.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Eddie.
But yeah, that's definitely what we
Ed,
gonna
do you have any priority on
Yeah, we
offensive?
Yes,
on
he is.
offensive line. Do you prioritize any offensive lines?
He wants that unit back.
I want that defense and that offense back. So we gotta go. I want to go defense first, then O-line second.
I agree. I agree.
That's what we're thinking too.
Who's your backup O line if we don't get the one we had last week?
Let me ask T West, cause T West.
It looks like Kevin
West.
Calder is in, Baby
Yeah,
Turk.
yeah. Felder is on the board.
Okay, guys, real quick while we're waiting for an
I
answer
think the
from
offensive
him,
line
right?
is really even.
Toby or Matt, do one of you want to control the Discord FCF Knights on what we're doing on each round?
Yeah.
Just posting it in there so everybody knows.
West is in the building.
Yeah, I can. I can
but
kind
West,
of flip
come here,
back
boy.
and forth
Stop
from there.
talking
Let me.
What do you want as a backup?
All right, yeah,
All
I'm
right,
in
guys,
here
we're
now.
on the clock in 10 minutes. So I'm going to put it here in the Twitch chat. If you guys will put it, we will know right now, guys, in the chat, our first pick we're looking for Jacoby Herring. If he's available, we want to bring Hollywood back.
And
We're on the clock.
put our one. Let's put him in there. But wait, should we announce that right now or wait till we're on the clock?
Well, we're 9 minutes on the clock, so just giving them our idea who's first.
Who's picked so far? Anybody?
The draft is starting right now. No picks
Yeah,
have been
hasn't
made
started
yet.
quite yet. We were kind of talking about it
Okay,
earlier
cool.
that we feel it's not really a secret that we want to bring Hollywood back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
by saying
I know.
Hollywood is not
I
really
know.
giving anybody anything.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
If we had to get a third seed, we're gonna probably go Wells again. Or Keon.
I'm big on
Right,
Drake Wells
yeah.
too.
Huh?
I'm
like
big
Wells.
on Drake Wells, and I think we can slot him as a
Wells.
slot
We
receiver.
gotta go. That could be our third guy.
Yep.
Yeah, Drake with the new passes they're putting in the system, guys. That's where we're going to see Drake
Listen, it's a
elevate
advantage.
his game.
There's also
Yeah,
Bird
yeah.
that Toby was shouting out. He's a slot too.
Ed,
Yeah.
are we able to use Yeti out of the slot? Ed,
I think he's walking over to him.
yeah. I'm curious if Ed thinks that we can use Yeti out of the slot.
I thought it worked great last week. I mean, even the first touchdown he had the week one, he was in the slot.
I thought he was in the slot too.
Yeah. Yeah, on his touchdown, he definitely was in the slot, and then week two, he was actually on the outside.
Okay. Okay.
Sweet. Hey, who I get a shield to?
Thank you very much.
All right, so let's see. We got text messages coming
Hey,
in now,
Nick.
guys. We got Force Field, several O linemen saying, "You guys bringing us back? We ready to be
I
nice."
guess they starting to drop Terence Williams going to the Zappers.
Terrence, right?
Yep.
Yep,
Terrence
we knew that was
Williams
going to
goes
happen.
to the
All right, T. Williams is gone. That's fine with me.
That's
fine with
fine.
me.
That's fine.
The
Didn't want
pieces are falling into place. All right.
I want
all right.
Hollywood bad.
Yep.
I think
didn't know
the
that
only
Hollywood was Herring until
other
30 seconds
team
ago.
we have to worry about taking a receiver is the Beasts right before us.
But no,
I
they
think
don't have.
they
They don't have Hollywood as a top. He's like the fifth top person to pick. Is two other receivers in front of him.
Right.
Yep, they grade him lower. All right.
Aoki might do it. I mean, they kind of took
Kingpins are
they took him back
going
late.
Vance.
I want Hollywood bad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hop back
Definitely
on right
building
before
on
the
that
draft.
chemistry.
Before we go.
Okay.
All right, that sounds good.
Oh, I'm gonna say tell Ed to tell the H we coming. Find him on the field out there.
It's funny. We were talking about that the other day, and he said, "Oh, we'll let them know. We don't have to talk crap now. Let them do all the talking." He said they know they got away with a lucky win on game one. I was like,
Yeah.
we know. All right, so let's see.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. The Zappers love making that celebrity Madden pick.
Yeah.
Well, we got GWR in
care-
the
do they
chat
care
giving
about
us some
winning at all?
insight. It looks like Twitter group for the Kingpins want Vance. But Verges is telling everybody that he wants Jay Williams.
It's working
Let's see
out
what
well
they
for us.
pull off.
This may fall
All right.
perfect.
Hey, everybody in the chat, thanks for tuning in. Obviously, it's our Knights of Degen FCF stream for draft night. If you don't have your app out, get your app out quick. Get in there so you can help us vote, help us build this team. We've got a lot of picks. This is important this week, guys. We're locking in offensive players for the rest of the season. We're on the clock in 5 minutes and 54 seconds. Matt in Discord is buckets. You'll see him posting in the FCF chat what we're all talking about and what we're hoping to come together and vote on. And guys in the chat, get in Discord, start tagging everybody. Tell them to come join the stream, hang out. Let's build this thing the right way. All right, guys. On the clock is the Kingpins. I'm interested to see what they do. I mean, it looks like they're going to go wide receiver. All right, Terence Williams.
I mean,
And
that
then
kind of
we-
makes sense for them. They've got Daryl Verges. They've got Terry Jones. You know, I think the only thing that I thought they would have done other than that was to draft the wall to get an offensive line, because I feel like they got super exposed last week by us.
Yeah.
What's up,
'cause
Richie?
They did.
What up, Richie?
Hey guys.
Richie, coach is here.
Can you guys see what came in the mail? I was gonna
Ooh,
open
round
it.
21.
Oh, you got your round
Open it
21?
now.
I didn't get mine yet.
Oh, that's is that the cards?
4 minutes.
You get the
and
Brady
30
or what you
seconds.
get?
I will never have Tom Brady in this household, even though it's probably worth more money.
I got Brady and Mahomes.
You got Brady and Mahomes?
Yeah. If they would have had a Derek Carr, I would have gone Derek Carr and fuck the other guy.
Vance Leonard.
Second pick, Vance Leonard. Vance off the clock.
You take it out of the box, you leave it in the box.
All right. So who's gonna? Are we gonna keep our plan?
This is Jacoby Herring Hollywood's bio from college. And you can see when he was at Riverside Community College, he was like pretty legit. His sophomore year, he had 50 receptions for 787 yards, 7 TDs in 12 games as a sophomore. Riverside Community College isn't a powerhouse, but it's a pretty good community college in terms of subdivision college football. So then to get recruited by UMass as a transfer is pretty good. Didn't have any overall great stats in any season, but put up 33 yards against Temple, 14 yards against Tennessee, 25 yards against FIU. So especially in games against Temple and Tennessee, he was on the field with people that are now playing on Sundays. So that does matter.
Huge.
He was in a locker room with coaches that have coached people that play on Sundays. So there's a lot to like with this guy. And then on top of that, of course, legitimately, as we saw last week, the perfect complement to the 3 players that are franchise tag on our team right now, which probably matters more than anything.
Yeah.
So answer everybody in the chat. I'm responding in there as well, guys. Yes, Hollywood is what we want. If he does get grabbed here in these next 2 picks, then Jay Williams is our next option. So we're keeping up to the minute tabs here. 2 minutes till we're on the clock. But it looks
I have
like
a feeling that Adoki is not going to take either of those 2 receivers, and that should solidify that we're going to get one of them at least.
Yeah, and then we can start planning into
If
the
they
second round.
don't take the receiver, I think, then
I was going to say, Zook, we looked at some footage of him leading up to draft day for week 1 and some of his Riverside. The things that jumped out were like he was running slants. Not only can he catch the ball, like he has a quick first step after catching. So like receiving after catch for such a big body was like huge. It jumped out to me.
Huge.
It looks like a lot of the stuff that like
Malcolm Ballard is off the clock.
okay.
Aoki
I thought
takes
they should
Malcolm
pick.
Ballard.
It seems
Yep,
that
sir,
Jacoby
good.
Herring to me is better than Vance Leonard from what he can do on a total route tree standpoint. That it's interesting that Leonard goes before, which I kind of like.
You know what, Zook? It's because of the fact that last week, if he would have made those 2 catches, the one he got robbed on with the holding call, and then the head catch, we would not be getting a chance to even talk about Hollywood right now. He would have gone first pick.
Oh, yeah.
So, we try to keep our cards close to the chest, but the plan was, let's lock up Yeti. We really feel, based on those first 2 picks, we could have Hollywood fall to us at 5. We're only 1 pick away, guys.
Also, at Citrus Hill, he was a star basketball player as well. So when we talk about smaller field, actually being able to use that height to box people out, and we even saw that on the field last week. He clearly has that skill, which is super important.
So Ballard went pick 3.
Yep.
Yeah, they needed to make that move to make their team a little bit more balanced.
Wait, so I missed it. Who'd they take?
Adoki took Malcolm Ballard.
Ballard.
Vance Leonard and Terence Williams are gone.
Basically like the last tier 2 super back in the league. The rest are kind of unknowns.
So there's 2 picks in front of us right now, and all of our receivers available.
There's 1 pick right now on the clock before us. We're on the clock in 28 seconds.
We're guaranteed to get one of our guys. Hollywood and Justin Williams are both on the clock, and there's only 1 pick away.
Yeah, Vance Leonard and Terence Williams went 1 and 2.
Okay.
fucking great.
All right, chat, guys. Everybody seems to be on
And
the same
Aoki
page.
did not take the receiver that I thought they should have. My sleeper pick is Aoki's previous receiver that I think will wrap back around. I don't think
Guys,
anyone's going to have him on the radar.
we do not. He's off the queue. I think we just lost Hollywood.
Aoki went, or Beasts went there.
We lost Hollywood.
Yep.
All right, we go with Jordan Williams, dude. I heard great things about him.
Yeah, I'm
Stick to our
still
plan.
as happy with that pick as if we would have had Hollywood. The only thing we're missing there is a week 1 or a 1 week of chemistry that was built.
Yeah, but that's fine. Like, listen,
They looked good together though in the man up. So at least
Yeah,
we
they
know
did
we're
look real
comfortable there.
good.
All right, guys.
All right,
go-
chat. Everybody put in Discord, guys. The backup plan. Our second rated Jordan Williams. Lock it in. We've got a minute left till our pick.
Yo, look how sick Yeti is. This is against LSU.
See ya. Later. Later, Bree.
He was a beast at Sam Houston
That's
State.
our guy.
A beast. This is our number 1 receiver. Yo, like, I forget who said it. It was either Toby or Matt. I forget who said it because it was at the top. I don't think, or maybe it was even Mike. I think it was Mike. I don't think we've unleashed Yeti yet. Like, I don't think everyone has seen Yeti's full potential yet, where he could be the best playmaker in this entire league by far.
He just gets open.
If you saw that first play where they threw that little quick out to him, I mean, he turned a negative 2-yard catch into a 3-yard gain by doing that backdoor spin on him. You know, I mean, the kid's quick on his feet. He reads the field reads the field very openly with his eyes, which is really important here because you ain't got much room to work. So you need to see those slivers and be able to make those
pick
cuts.
is up.
Yep, Jordan Williams.
I picked
Jordan Williams.
Oh, he's a punt return. Oh, look at this punt return.
I could definitely see him being a returner.
So the interesting part is the Beast didn't grab a QB.
They will, baby.
So what we going on?
Jordan Williams.
Going Justin Williams. The
Jordan.
guy you had in man up.
Jordan Williams.
Jordan Williams.
Yep.
Oh, Jordan
That's
Williams.
what we do then.
All right, bet. It's confidence, right?
We went after the bees, man. We didn't know they need a quarterback. Cole, we need to get a quarterback so they don't get no quarterback.
But this is what I said, is that I didn't think that they were going to take a quarterback because there's not – I think they're finding out with Jason Stewart that there's not that much of a difference between him and the other guys that are left. So they're going to get one at the end.
Yeah, regardless of whoever it is.
Who else needs quarterbacks? Really,
Their
nobody
fans
else
were
needs
asking for the
quarterbacks,
backup.
you know?
We're going to do it. We're going to do a good trade.
They're going to get their pick of the litter in the 3rd or 4th round still.
Right.
I was gonna say Jacoby didn't look very happy in that shot.
Nah, I'm right
No,
here
he did
with
not.
him. He's like, what happened,
He said.
man? Oh, man. He want to
It's your
trade
punch.
already, man. He still want to trade. We might get him a trade later on.
Tell him to throw the game and we'll pick him up on the waiver wire.
Yeah.
Tell him he's better. Tell him to represent. He's still got to use his steed as a as his profile picture.
Yeah.
Got him. All right, we got our guy, guys. Let's go.
Hey, you see that connection?
Yeah, let's do it,
he's
baby.
good.
Yeah, we on the same page.
He's a ball player, man. He's a ball player.
Fix y'all face, niggas. I got something for y'all, boy. That'll fix all
That
y'all.
shield looks natural on him.
You got more?
Okay. Ooh, that looks good.
Okay.
That shield
we
looks way
doing
better than the
good.
chain. That
So
shield
now
looks
we go.
way better
Now
than
we
that
go
chain.
D. Y'all want to go D line first or O line first?
No, the question is, do we buy if we get?
I think we're going to go another receiver if we've got the opportunity.
It's D block or wide receiver, in my opinion.
Yeah. So
right,
I have
give me
got
like-
I have got
give me
a
like- give me like
sleeper
8
pick
minutes
for
to
the
think on
second
that.
round that I put a lot of
Hey,
film.
8
that
minutes.
can show up when Jigga gets back, and it's a guy I really like that I think is very Yeti-esque. So we'll see if he wraps back around. I think he's going to, but there are. Like I was convinced that Glacier Boys, Bored Apes, and Stars were all going to go receiver, and we just took all of the tier 1 receivers away. So it's going to be a little bit of a crapshoot of what starts to happen here.
Wait, so what about the other guy on our?
I like D block. I'll just say that out loud.
Yeah,
I want D block.
Likewise.
I want.
I think I think it just if nobody goes defense, I don't think we need to be the one that breaks the trend to make sure we get that receiver.
Guys,
that's definitely gonna be on our team.
let me throw this out there. Okay. I agree with what we're saying, but here's the issue. Let's not forget it's a snake draft, and we now play the Zappers. So if we do not grab D block, they're going to have that back-to-back picks on that way back. They're going to grab defense.
We should go defense. We should go defense.
We should
go ahead and secure D block now.
All they did last week.
They're dominant. They're a dominant.
I'm just thinking in terms of getting a weapon that we're going to have the rest of the season instead of a defense that we can just get next week. And we're playing the Zappers this week.
So let me ask you a question then. Is there a receiver that is good enough that if they fall to us at this point, we say, oh shit, we should take them?
Yeah, I think I did a lot of scouting last night, and I think Cedric Byrd is a sleeper pick that won't make it in the next wraparound.
Really?
But he's very he's going to fill that slot position and be very versatile and had
Cedric Byrd was a high recruit.
Yeah, I was surprised he didn't get tagged. He had a very good game last week. And he just had to make the hard decision to tag Patrick Smith, who also, is a really good receiver.
So here's my question then, Toby, because I agree with you. I don't think Bird's going to be there when it comes back around now, right? I think
that someone else is going to know.
Yeah, and he was on a lot of the FCF shows this week, and he was hyped up a lot on their afternoon shows and on their Tuesday night shows.
I was just listening. We don't want to play D block. I think we take him unless there's a wide receiver that's so good, right?
But I agree with you, Mike. And I think if we take D block guys, it's going to force the Zappers to restructure their game plan. It's going to make them start thinking, should we go O-line right now, or do we need to get a better defense? And I think that gives us the option on that comeback that we then decide, do we go with a wide receiver best available, or if Force Field is there, we grab them again.
So Glacier just got D block.
No. So now we know they're off one board.
Wait, are they off our board?
No.
You can still get them.
Not yet for this week.
Okay, that's all that matters.
They play the first. They play the first game.
This is Cedric Byrd's stats as 2 years at Hawaii. As if you know anything about Hawaii, legitimately all they do is throw the ball. So you got to take these with a grain of salt. But 79 receptions, 970, 9 touchdowns, 98 receptions, 1,097 and 10 touchdowns. Not saying he's definitely the pick, but we could definitely say that he would look nice in this offense.
Well, I've got quite a bit of film that we can kind of take a look and I can sort of break down what I'm seeing and how I think that he's a dynamic player.
Oh, he was the number 37 overall recruit his year in high school, which is pretty legit. Out of JUCO, so he was the number 37 out of JUCO that year. That's why he was only had 2 years at Hawaii, but looked good.
How old is he?
His senior year is 2019, so he's been out of
probably 24, 25. I got it pulled up here. I can take a look.
There you go, Toby. Got some of the film.
And this guy would be a true slot receiver.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He fits right. Now we're constructing.
So this was the scramble drill.
Guys fit.
This was the play. Right in the middle. This was the play that Mitch Kidd had to be a wizard back there and get away from the D line. And
nuts.
And Cedric Byrd's the guy who ends up getting open for him for a 40-yard gain. So I had just had marked that, nice scramble drill. That was one of the same things that I noticed about Yeti was that Yeti is great at the scramble drill when things break down and getting in the back of the end zone. Definitely something to be said for when play breaks down. But is this a new one or is this the same one? No, this is the same one here.
Makuga and the shoulder pads.
I would still go D block, to be honest, but this makes me feel like
I just feel like I would be comfortable seeing how do we fare with without D block.
I hear what you're saying.
Wow, there goes Kevin Felder.
Because you're saying we could bounce back next week and take him again. So I hear you.
Right.
You're making a very fair argument. So let's say, so let's just think this through for a second. We have our are there any other receivers that are top 5 on our list that are still available?
But don't we have to draft a slot receiver?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well,
someone in the
I'm
chat
not
kept
sure.
saying that.
If we don't draft it, it'll get auto picked. So yes, we should.
So this is him running a corner route. It was just an awful ball by Kid. But he gets some serious separation on this play, and he gets it in a hurry.
Now,
this is number 12. This is the captain of their defense who is shutting down TO basically 2 weeks in a row. But watch this. Just one quick cut. He's already got 3 yards of separation. If you put that ball anywhere near him, he's going to be able to make that catch.
Now he doesn't. Did he have any good stats coming out? I mean, do you don't think he'll fall to us in the grand scheme of things?
He had a really good game this week. I think this is Adoki's pick to get him back when it comes back to them.
But they're after us, right?
Yes, they are after us. That's why I was looking to see who they picked in that third spot. I thought they should have picked Byrd or Ballard, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Byrd is nice.
If D block is off the board, we can grab shutdown squad sometime later. They have the DBs to handle
If
Johnny.
D block's off the board, we definitely go positional player. There's no point. Yeah.
Especially because there's now that D block has already gone off once, there's still a good chance that we aren't going to go up against them at least.
Yeah. That's the main fear.
So shutdown squad is a good option, especially playing against a team that likes to pass like crazy.
Yeah.
You get Marquell Osborne and you get Roman Tatum and Kane. I mean, that's 3 DBs that I'm more than happy to say they should be with us. But guys, I mean, are we not paying attention to the O-line?
Well, I don't think if we
I'll tell you what happened with me last week. Last week we were auto drafted an O-line. It was our last pick, and I thought they were incredibly solid. And I'm like, now, and the first week I thought the one that we thought was a little better, actually wasn't even. I didn't think they were that great. Overall, I haven't seen a difference enough yet, except the O-line we played against last week I thought was atrocious. So who were they?
Was that
Trenchmen?
Trenchmen.
All right. We want to avoid Trenchmen. To me, that's the only decision that's the only thing that I'd care about. But outside of that, we can wait a few rounds for them, I think.
I see no reason not to get force field if we can, but I don't think we need to get it now.
Yeah, Ed liked force field a lot in our conversation Monday.
I was wondering this though, and I wanted to ask this out loud: how much of it was the offensive line was atrocious versus Slick Nick and D Block are just going to do that to any offensive line?
I like that concept a lot. I mean, at the end of the day, Nick is putting pressure up the middle. If you ask a quarterback what's the worst kind of pressure, is up the middle. And I really believe, and then also on offensive line, real quick, while we were touching on it, the Zappers are not going to take force field. Not after how they saw them play last week. But remember, look at Hollywood. He came out that tunnel looking super slumber. If the people want to play for certain teams, it's coming very relevant to that. So if you get guys not to say that they're slacking off, but there's times where these guys might be playing with a little bit more of a chip on their shoulder, playing a little bit harder because they know they're with the team that they really enjoy or they really like our play calling and our play styles. So I think that takes into consideration too.
And with force field, you get Epa right in the middle. And he's
there's Jigga. There should be some other Cedric Byrd video from last week also.
All right, keep talking for a second. I've got Ed and Wes that are texting me right now with some guys that they're with.
I was gonna say towards the end of our game last week, Nick was getting so much pressure up the middle with that vicious spin move that he has that their quarterbacks were starting to pre-roll out before there was even any pressure.
Happy feet, right?
Yeah.
Really, if you think about it, it's like that pressure up the middle. Remember, if there's pressure on the edges, the quarterback can step up into the pocket. So when you're collapsing the middle, that's a huge thing. Now, granted, we need to have disciplined linebackers. I think our linebackers played a better game last week. I think we held them to how many points? What they end up scoring on us?
I think the Stars are going to take an offensive line here, so we're going to get to see another one that goes off the board.
And then when they put in Southwick with no mobility, it was just it was a wrap.
Guys, but here's my thing too. We're also not paying attention to the fact that those are 2 dope tight ends on force field.
Yeah.
Right.
So we are giving ourselves 2 other weapons. We just solidified a dog and a wide receiver with our franchise tag. So we're acting like we still need all these extra weapons. I think if we stuck with force field, we are getting 2 tight ends that are super dope weapons. Tommy Auger is a beast. Epa holding down that center position for us is huge. For me, we've built some amazing offensive pieces. Don't we want to protect our boy a little bit?
I agree.
And grab two tight ends with it?
I just think they'll fall to us. I think that they liked playing with us, but everyone's going to see how they played the Zappers and just
in that Zappers game.
It's going to turn them
off.
off.
Lasting impression.
It was hilarious. Trenchman was like the #1 consensus pick last week, and now this week, all the chatter is like, "Don't draft Trenchman."
Yeah.
I like
They were
Byrd
just
if
showing
Byrd is
Cedric
there.
Byrd a bunch.
I like Byrd if Byrd is there.
He's good.
I think
Bird
we start
is there. We're 3 picks away, guys. If we say
I think
let's
we're
go
starting to get
receiver,
too cute.
and then we'll play around after that, I'm down. Let's go with Bird. You know what?
Because this is
Let's
going to be a
call
guy. This is going to be a spot. Whoever we take, if it's positional, we're not going to ever lose in the waiver wire unless like an injury happens and no one votes for him. So this person is somebody that's going to be with us for 5 games. Week
do
3, 4, 5,
we
6,
could be
and
sitting
7.
here next week saying that Cedric, knock on wood, if we get him, we could be sitting here next week saying Cedric Byrd is our best receiver out of the 3. That's how good I genuinely think this guy is.
Yeah, we take Cedric Byrd, then we're saying that we're not taking Drake Wells back, right? That's
Like,
what
I'm
it comes
watching
down
his
to.
highlight. He's nasty.
He's really good.
Yeah.
And I have some film too of him laying some blocks. Like he wasn't afraid to lay some blocks out on the outside.
Well, yeah, Hawaii does not
great
run
with the
between the
scrambles,
tackles
though.
at all, and they run jet sweeps, so you know their receivers are blocking, their tight ends are blocking. So, no, this guy is
very
definitely
executional style of offense.
Yeah, he definitely
taking anything
complements
that
our
Ed
2
said.
receivers on the outside.
I mean, I also want to keep if we got a keeper quarterback and his first 2 things out of his mouth were offense and defensive line, he wants to run it back. I also want to make sure that, not to say that we have to please him because it is our fan call, but I mean, we also want a happy quarterback.
I think he understands like we're doing the right. Like he knows that we have a good strategy here. He gets it. He's saying to us like, listen, if we can get those those guys, get them because they're a good solid D and a good solid O-line. But at the end of the day, like when you really think about it, the fact that we can get an asset that stays with us the whole season, you have to value that. Like, listen, I don't know. It's going to be a very.
I think the only one that is in the conversation that's non-positional is D-Block because of just how amazing they are.
Let me just ask a question because I think a lot of people in the chat are in the same spot as me where I kind of get it. So if we draft a receiver, we get the receiver for the rest of the season. And if we draft a defense, we only get them for 1 game.
Yes.
Yeah,
correct.
Then that's
but Sels.
And if we win again, we'll be like 7 or 8.
Can we get a little more context on the waiver wire again? What this whole waiver drafting is?
So everybody except for your keepers and your franchise tags are locked, and then you have to vote for people on your team to protect, and the person who gets the least amount of votes is unprotected, and somebody can then redraft them in that draft week.
So 1 person we lose each week.
Person. So it could be the backup quarterback. It could be the backup super back. It could be our wide receiver 4. So
we
whoever
could
we
get
take
Cedric Byrd
next
and keep
is
him forever.
never going to be on the waiver wire unless an injury happens.
You got to draft a guy like Cedric Byrd then over a defense. If you put it to me like that, we can have this guy for the rest of the season over.
Look, guys, even our team is saying the same thing. They're saying, listen, we understand you guys getting another weapon makes sense. They said pretty much we'll find out what we'll do after that because Zappers will have back-to-back picks.
Are we also going to redraft in the playoffs?
Guys, we are at 1 minute and 48 seconds to
Who is
on the
Darren
clock.
Woods? The Apes just took Darren Woods.
Yep, wide receiver. He just came in this week.
He was on the top 5, I think. Their top 5. He's definitely a sleeper, a ringer that they brought in.
They always know the newbie that's in.
Yep.
He's not even on the list.
They need all the help they can get.
All right, what are we doing, boys? We're coming up on our time here.
I'm saying Byrd is a democracy.
I think Byrd.
I'm definitely for Byrd. I wouldn't have brought him up if I didn't think it was going to be a great pick here if it came around.
Let's go, guys. Let's go with Byrd. Everybody, put in the Discord.
Of,
guys, let's draft Byrd. Minute on the clock. We're going Byrd.
Ed will like that pick.
He's in the text.
Definitely.
Ed said he doesn't really know him, but Yeti does, and Yeti thinks he's a monster.
He will when he's catching balls in the end zone from him.
Yeti thinks he's a monster?
Yeti thinks he's a great pick for us.
Discord is asking us be all consistent on the stream, but I think we are. So
Yeah.
Bird, right?
We're trying our best.
Bird.
One
Cedric
second,
Byrd.
I just want to make sure we are because we can't. We still have 30 seconds. D block is available, but we're saying we're going with Bird
because we never lose Bird if we don't want to. We can protect him every single week.
We could start to get blocked out of D block in upcoming weeks.
Yeah, but we're also saying that Bird is that much better than the other wide receivers.
I had Cedric Byrd higher than I had him on other picks, but I wasn't saying so because I didn't think he was a first round value right now. Yeah,
Bird went.
Bird's
gone.
All right.
Well, I think let's take the D block.
Let's
D-block.
take D block. It is.
I would agree because I don't have another guy where I could say
D-block.
that
All right.
D-block.
value here.
That means
Let's run it
guys,
back. Hey, it'll be a
guys,
fun week. Let's
We're
crush Johnny.
also, don't forget, Drake Wells. I really told you guys in the beginning, we had him last week. He didn't get a lot of opportunities. With the new plays that they're putting in place, Drake Wells would be my choice for our slot receiver. I'm just throwing it out there.
Make the
Let's take
pick,
a
boys.
gander at him on the Google.
Let's go D block.
I am. Oh, here it is.
This gives us our best chance to win this week, and I think momentum, getting another W. I mean, you can't walk away from that.
I mean,
yeah.
Right now,
And it
everybody's
seems
looking
like
at.
new guys are added to the league too, so we'll be able to pick up weapons.
Right. Yep. I think we go D block, and if what's their faces doesn't take force field, I'm gonna push right now. You guys talk it out. I'd say on that way back, we go ahead and bring force field. We got our tight ends with it, and then we see what's there at slot
I agree.
receiver.
So then we don't get.
Force field is offensive line.
Yep.
Correct. That's what we got last week.
Once we make the plunge into one of them and we're going after those 1 week positions, we might as well just dominate with that and go after the definite win this week. Where I agree with going at the backing those positions back to back. So if we're doing defense, this one might as well just hit offensive line right away.
Yeah, I think
guys,
the only way I would counter
everybody,
that
again,
is if
D-block,
there's a
D-block.
receiver that's like really stands out again, like above everyone else.
There's a couple guys that are still there that I think would be valued at a third round. Like you've got Tony Dixon is still there, and Justin Times is a guy that I've liked before. There's a lot of picks before we go again, though. I'm not sure if those type of guys stick around. That's why I thought Byrd needed to go there because of how much time it would be until we be picked again.
What do you think of Giles?
Yeah, I mean, I think that he is like he's kind of like Vance Leonard, but a foot shorter, probably. Like he's probably not that.
Here we go. Here we go.
Vance Leonard.
Hey, we going D block.
Let's go D block, then let's go O line next.
Well, we got him.
Oh, this man knows what we're talking about. D
Force
block,
field.
O line, Drake
Got him.
Wells.
Drake Well, cause me and Drake been working together in practice a lot. We got
Thank you for showing up, Ed. Thank you for backing me up, man. I was sleepy looking at Drake Wells film all week. Thank you.
Yeah. Drake Well got it though, so we good.
So we're going D block.
D block.
Yep.
Force field. Drake
Wells.
Wells.
Okay.
Drake Well, Young
we
got
get-
quarterback if we get to get Young.
Yeah, Jan as our backup.
Yeah.
Can we get Ed some AirPods? I feel like he always got to hold the
I don't have AirPods. Y'all go buy me some?
Yeah, get this man some
Yeah.
AirPods. This guy's always holding up the phone.
I got you.
Ed,
What about backup running back? Need anyone?
Don't really need one, and
I'm
the
the
ones that are
backup
left, you
running
don't. Yeah, we don't really need a backup running back.
Yeah, I'm the backup running back. If you know.
That's how
Yeah.
it goes. Hey,
We got our
Hey,
D block,
they can play hard.
boys.
Well, we
They
got
can
a
play hard.
solidified win, no doubt.
Come on. Come on.
Yeah, as long as we
We-
grab
we-
D line, we good. We done.
We're
It's
gonna make
over
you
with.
happy again, Ed. This is what we do. We ready.
Yeah,
Let's go.
cause they love being on our team. Look how
love
happy
them
they
being
are. They
on
were like,
our team.
please pick us up. We don't want the. They're like, please pick us up. We don't want to play with the bored apes.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go. We don't want to play with the board apes.
Music to our ears.
Can we get that? Can we get that recorded?
Great pick, y'all. So now we go.
Clip it. Clip
All
it.
right, next we go on force field.
Slick Nick on Johnny Man. I'm just picking up from the from Discord here. Good point. Slick Nick on Johnny Manziel all weekend.
I don't
gonna
know
be
if
so
we should jump the gun on O-line so early. Like, I think force field we're going to get regardless.
Yeah, I think he'll be there.
I think if we've got a guy that we like at a position, a skill position, that we should use that third pick on.
I think go Wells and Forcefield on the way back.
Well, if we take
You said Wells and then Forcefield?
I mean,
if we take Drake first, then we're
Like
basically saying,
last
let's see
week,
what
we
happens.
didn't even have to pick force field.
I think we should wait to see what the Zappers do with both their picks.
Yeah, that's the big
based
thing,
off
to
our
see
picks,
where the
based off
Zappers
what
do.
they do.
Oh, it's Nick saying.
If there's no one that's picked the force field by the time we picked, I'm confident they'll get back to us.
I agree. Yeah. So Drake Wells should be our next pick based on what these guys do.
Because I think the Zappers are going to take an O-line here, and it's not going to be them because of how bad they did. And that just increases our chances of force field being there almost at any point later in the draft.
Chat, what do you think?
It's just a matter of, is there a weapon there we like for that pick?
Yeah, you got headphones? Get on the thing. Yeti got headphones, so let me use your headphones, Yeti. You ain't listening to nothing but
All right, we building this out. All right, Glacier Boys, we saw that. They took Cedric. We got D Block.
Yep.
all right, we hello.
Hey, Toby. Hey, Ed.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we good.
Toby, I want to ask you a question, bro, because you've been breaking down wide receivers. What's going on with Justin Times? Why is he dropping so much?
Did you ask me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm not really sure. I think it's just that he hasn't had an opportunity to really produce. He may be a little bit raw, and he's not getting that timing down because he's been hopping teams. So, I mean, he's just. I'm not sure. If you look at the top guys that have been going, they've produced at least 1 week. Justin Times has had like 1 or 2 catches that have shown promise and potential, but it's not been like a Maurice Thomas where he takes a hitch for a touchdown, a Vance Leonard where he's catching two deep balls. Hollywood's got 2 deep balls for touchdowns. Cedric Byrd had like 5 catches for 100 yards last week or something like that. So I think he's just missing that like breakout game that is making it where people are like, I feel confident in using a high value pick on him.
Yeah, I mean, he was an All-American D1 sprinter, USC.
He's so fast. Like, if we need somebody to blow the top off of a defense, he is number 1 in this league for that.
Dude, our team is looking.
Can he
so
catch?
Who was that? Sorry.
Dude, our team is so good.
Justin Times.
Yeah, we need to get. I think we need to get Drake if he's there next pick, guys.
Why? There are other people who need a slot receiver too.
Yes.
There is.
How many slots?
Yeah, I wasn't as high on Drake Wells. There were some missed blocks that he had. That
I wasn't
caused
blown away.
sacks.
I don't see any. There's also are there any other slot receivers even available?
There is Malik Elion. He had just come back off of the injury list.
Trey Chandler.
The coach, Ed likes him. Ed likes Wells.
Yeah, I like Wells.
I like Wells.
Tony Dixon and Harrison Dre are probably the only guys. Terrius Giles.
Yeah, guy, and the reason again, we have small sample size, but the chemistry with Ed is good. Our offensive coordinator was his college and high school coach for Drake Wells.
So that's
Drake
a great
Wells,
thing right
with
there.
these new plays being put in, he's going to get the opportunity to use his feet the way we want him to.
Wait, Jigga, are we saying we're going to go
next? If Drake is there, I think we go Drake first, and then we see what happens when it comes back around.
So
we got D Block. So we know what we got.
We got D Block and we got our receiver. We got Jordan Williams. We got D Block. We good. We already got me, Yeti, and T West. It's already good.
It's over.
Whatever comes, just come.
That's it. We're good, baby. Let's go.
So Ed, I mean, you're here. Which one would you do first, O-line or Drake Wells?
What round is it? Third, then go fourth? I feel like the Zappers will go in the defense.
Yeah, let's see what these Zappers do.
Zappers gonna go heavy hitters.
The wall. Aoki's with the wall.
Zappers might draft like a 5th receiver here.
It wouldn't shock anybody.
No.
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel might not be playing this
Just
week.
to lose him in the next week.
Wow, go figure.
Yeah, Johnny Manziel might not be playing this week. That's why the schedule changed.
Do they have a quarterback?
Josh McCougar just
Besides
got
Johnny?
destroyed.
Look at him.
I think he's dead.
We already know,
Did the
man.
Zappers pick their backup quarterback yet?
Negative.
Now they're probably due for it here in this turn, even though they should
Yeah, I
be
was
on
gonna say, they probably-
offense and defense.
Yeah, they gonna probably
But they
go
gotta draft-
defense.
They got to
they
get a
got-
quarterback if Johnny ain't playing.
Yeah,
And they don't have a running back either.
but it's hard to select a quarterback out of the ones that's left.
Dentarius Yan, I think, is probably the number one guy left on the board. You still got Vidal out there. You still got Jason
we can
Stewart,
get
but he's
Yan.
definitely dropping.
Yeah, if we can get Jan, plus he got the power up with him this week as our backup.
You don't think Zappers take Jan?
Yeah, they gonna probably go defense.
I
They're gonna
think,
get that back
I think
to
they're
back.
definitely going to take an O-line for one of the two.
I told you. I still got that what we had.
I love
It's in
KOD,
my book
bro.
bag.
I love KOD. That's my favorite team, bro.
Tell them again.
I love KOD. Number 49 linebacker.
KOD,
Y'all
man.
check
Let's
out Keith
go.
Herring. I love y'all, bro.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
go, Wainwright.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
go.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he didn't want to say he wanted to
early,
go
right?
to
We got
the
Slick
4
and Wainwright. I'm a happy dude.
Let's go.
We good.
Something like you said, I think our jerseys look the cleanest on the field. You look
Nah,
good,
we
you
got the
play
best
good, you
jersey.
feel good. Bro, the
All because
cleanest,
of
bro.
the jerseys.
Dude, gotta be.
Nothing
What are the
It
else.
has
defense?
nothing
They
to do with
called
skill.
Looking good, feeling good, Billy Ray.
Yeah, you got
know,
the more stripes.
You guys know that we're gonna have Ed on a commercial for our food and beverage brand soon.
Love
You know
it.
Ooh, Eddie.
Ed said, okay.
Ed, how are your acting skills?
Eddie, how's your acting
Man,
Ed,
skills?
go ahead. Let them know how you be modeling. They don't know Ed. They don't know Season 1 Ed, Mr. Model himself. You know what? We should do a whole segment on all the times and pictures of Ed with his shirt off, just posing.
You want to get a line before a receiver? Is it to get an O-line or get our receiver?
Kingpins are probably going to go O-line here also, I would think.
Receiver?
Drake.
But we got Charles. That's why we not really pressed about. No.
Is any other quarterback this in depth?
Yeah, bro. We got Charles.
There's no way.
Hey,
It's
Ed,
it's no
I got a
bad
question.
O-line group.
These
What's
new
up?
plays, are we going to be able to see a lot more from the tight ends, or is it still not a focus on tight ends? No? Okay.
It's not no tight end, but it's a lot of RPOs.
Okay. Yeah, we like those.
Are we still getting the 4 shenanigans, or are they bumping it back?
So what y'all want to do first? Y'all want to go Drake Wells or y'all want to go Forcefield?
What do
I
you
think it
think?
depends on what the. I think
Like
it
I
depends
told
what
y'all,
these
it's
Zappers
all
do.
in y'all hands.
We're just kind of waiting to see what the Zappers pick.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
see what they
yeah.
actually do.
I think it's pretty confident they're not picking fourth.
The Zappers ain't picked nobody up.
Andrews. Who?
Colin Andrews.
Okay.
Who's
The
that?
Zappers on the Forcefield.
Colin Andrews is the guy who won the road to the FCS.
All right,
thing,
we know.
I
I
think.
know that.
That's right.
That's who we had last
That's right.
week.
So he's decent. He's like real
You know who he
quiet.
played with last week?
I don't know if I've heard him say like a word.
Emperor.
No.
Hey, and I love. We got a big. Yeah.
Hayden said, Jigga,
But it
Hayden is
don't matter
saying
who we get our O-line, bro. As long as we don't play
What'd
the
you
best D-line, we good.
he says we need to go get a slot.
I like Wells.
Yeah.
Yeah. It ain't like we keep
And then
them. We
that-
got to keep drafting them early, bro. They don't stay like the skill guys do. So we got to keep drafting.
No doubt. It's gonna get. It's
Bro,
gonna
we
get,
can't.
it's gonna get
We
competitive.
can't go block party. We cannot go block party. That center is horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
So
he
we
was the
still
guy
have-
who he
what's left
snapped
for us
it, and Aoki gave up a touchdown because he like snapped it on first sound
He
when
did
he
that
heard
with
like
me.
something
He
random.
did that with Ed too. First week.
Yeah, he did it with Ed too.
No, I'm not gonna be battling with no ball.
So,
I disagree with
guys,
that. I disagree with that, Drew.
guys, is there a guy named Dreher?
Harrison Drew.
Yeah.
Harrison Dreher is
Yeah,
pretty
Harrison.
good.
Hayden seems to like him a lot.
Oh,
See, they got the running back. What y'all want to do?
running back. Wow.
They grabbed a running back? All right.
Let's go get force field right now. Fuck it.
Duncy Thomas. I thought that.
Let's get that.
Oh,
Oh, let's do it, and then we come back and get one of those slot receivers.
Yeah, we'll get one of those too. We got 2 slots. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's go force field right now.
Let's go force field.
Let's show everybody that we kept our core team like we planned. Come on.
Yeah.
All right, but they still get another pick before us. Let's wait before I get too excited here.
Josh talking to you.
Yeah,
Josh
you
right
right.
below you.
But they don't have a quarterback. They got to pick up a quarterback first.
Yeah, they might not worry about the O line.
They might go Young because Young got power up. You know they.
I mean, honestly, if they don't have a good O line, it doesn't matter who's quarterback.
True.
Bingo. They had Johnny and they still couldn't do shit. I mean, that shit ain't nothing.
They
anyways.
looked so bad.
We beat them.
Bob Renner trying to get everybody in there.
Honestly, there's 2
We
offensive
beat them
lines I don't
38-0.
want. There's like legitimately 2 offensive lines I don't want. So like the fact is, I think we just got to go offensive line because like there are 2 we don't want. That's not a great look, you know.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
And you know what? They want to be with us. They performed well last week.
Nah, they just told me they were like, we better be on the Knights, bro. That's the only thing I want to play.
Exactly.
Epa told me that just now.
I got texts from
I said,
Epa
bro,
and
y'all
from
good.
Tommy
We'll
OJ.
tell them
so
to
far.
rest in the first game that they play so that they're
Yeah,
fresh.
don't fucking play hard.
If the Zappos
Slack.
Play
Slack
play
is off.
taking
easy and
O-line
bad
that
when
we
they don't play with us.
Take it easy. Tell Nick to take it easy that game.
Take
if
y'all
the Zappos
time,
taking
man.
O-line that we don't want, I think we should take Wells first if that's the weapon we want.
Yo, Eddie, I'm coming to the game this weekend. Are we gonna party after?
Always.
Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. Where are we going after the game?
Week 5's gonna be off the chain, boys.
My family coming to this game too, so we gonna
All
turn
right,
up.
so mine is 2. We going to Chuck E. Cheese.
Nah, David Buster's if anything.
All right, there we go. Yeah, my kids are older too. They'd be like, "Why the hell we going to Chuck E. Cheese?"
Yo, so
Take a cheese, got good cheese pizza though.
this will be my first game. So what do we do Friday night? Are we gonna do
People
Friday
sleep on
night?
Chuck E. Cheese pizza. I've been saying that
Yeah.
my whole life.
It's great. That's the best pizza alive.
So last Friday we went and played on the field, Drew.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we all got the fun. My daughter ran up the field with the stroller.
Who else is going to the game this weekend? Anyone else? Jigga, you
We
are?
got people
All
in the
y'all
chat
should-
going. Mike's
Everybody
coming,
in the
you're
chat
coming.
should be going.
We're going this. I'm going
Week
this
5.
weekend.
Cost me a
I'll be
pretty
there.
decent penny to get on a flight.
So I'm going, and then I'm going to game 5 as well.
Yep.
Got to fucking go back for the
Yeah,
repeat.
I think I am going to try and come
That's
down
the
for game
main-
5.
Yeah, week 5.
five,
I'm
We
there.
can all get there for 5.
I think I might
give us
go
4
5,
days.
so that way I don't have to pay
I'm
$600-$700 for a flight.
I'm pumped to finally meet the team, dude. I've been like trying to get out there.
We're gonna be rolling deep week
Keep it in
5.
pairs.
Yeah, week 5 is about to be bananas with all of us. Throwing bananas at
Okay,
apes.
the Zappa just grabbed the quarterback. They grabbed Brian Allen.
Oh, he's
Oh,
not.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect.
He's not good at all.
He had
Terrible.
2 fumbles in 5 plays last week.
He looked so bad. He looked so bad, dude.
Oh my God, we're gonna get Yon too, and we got
he
this.
might start because
Has
Manziel's
anyone
not
ever had a
playing.
shutout in FCF?
No, never.
No,
Never.
we would have been the first.
Last week.
Well,
You were close.
I don't want to speak too early, but
You were close last week.
Mike, slow down. Slow down, Mike. Don't get ahead of ourselves.
Ed,
Choo
we
choo,
need
mother
one
trucker.
touchdown from you this week. That's it.
Where's Slick?
Yes,
He's working
sir.
on the booth tonight, right?
Nah,
Yeah, he was
Slick
up
right
there.
here. Slick under the
He was
Slick
with
under
Ray.
the suite. We on the top floor of the suite. He at the bottom.
All right, I'm gonna send him the link.
Yeah, let me let him know right now. What's Slick Nick at? Slick!
He was up.
Slick Nick! Hey, Slick Nick! Slick Nick! Hey, call Slick Nick. Get on the line. Yeah. Our live. He
You know,
talking
we
about
should
no.
ask Slick Nick who we think the best offensive line is.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Oh, Eppa and them right here.
That's a
Eppa
really good question, Toby.
trying to
Keep
call
you
my
around.
name right now. Look who
Keep you
called
around,
me though.
Toby.
Look who called me. What you want, boy?
I want beers, bro. I want the Indian Pale Ale, bro.
What that is? Oh, it's Bill though?
Yeah.
I think I pulled Bill in my thing by mistake. I thought it was soda.
Yeah, I
All
bet.
right, guys, we are a minute 30 seconds away. What up, Epa?
Look what he said.
I'm gonna pancake every motherfucker I go.
He said we don't pick up on pancake everybody. We go whatever. I don't know.
Let's go.
But, yeah,
All
we
right,
go.
put
Hey,
it in the Discord.
What O-line is he?
Horsfield, that's our boy.
Oh, that's our guy.
Forfield. Y'all next.
Horsfield,
Okay?
next pick.
Y'all next. What's up, boy?
What's up with you?
All right.
He said pick him up.
No. We picking you up.
Heavy hitters.
50.
Yeah,
We're on the
okay.
clock in 55 seconds.
Kingpins took block party.
Yeah, Forfield and Drake Wells. That's
Forfield?
it. Forfield and Drake Wells, and we leave happy.
Happy, baby.
There he is.
Oh, welcome home. Welcome home.
Hey. Oh, baby.
Welcome home.
Nice.
Everybody walking around.
Everybody, yeah, we got it. Oh, they balling up.
He over there playing basketball. That's what he's doing.
Yo.
Welcome home, man.
So nice.
The best
we
defensive
locked
player
in.
in the league.
We locked in.
Oh, we know.
Got my headphones
We know.
on.
15 seconds, boys.
15
Oh, we got
seconds.
15
Let's go ahead.
seconds.
Yo,
Lock it in.
Nick,
Let's
Nick.
go,
Yo.
Forcefield.
Yo, Nick, what's your favorite offensive line?
To go against and slap
Like,
around.
well, no, who do you think's the
No,
best?
no. Who's the best offensive line in your mind?
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, Nick,
Yeah.
what's the best offensive line in your opinion?
Best offensive line.
You like who we had last week? You like who we had last week?
Whichever one 66 is on. Hold on. Hey, yo.
We got time. We got 43 seconds.
Yo.
Forcefield, let's do it.
We gotta go Forfield.
Me? No, No. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
66 is
talking
that
about.
right?
Abram.
Yeah.
The wall.
Yeah, Forcefield.
That's who we're going.
Forcefield.
We going. Let me tell Eppa start walking now.
Yeah, Forcefield.
Eppa.
All right, everybody.
Stretch
Forcefield, lock it in.
Eppa. Start walking. Go.
Hey,
Go.
What did you just say?
Start walking, boy.
Get this step
Ain't
in.
nobody got time to be waiting on y'all to get on the stage.
Eppa, man, we know it takes you a minute to get there. Let's go.
Boy, start
You
walking.
gotta save the legs for the game. Go
Walk.
Get
Look, he
that boy
got
a
Bill.
wheelchair.
Look at him. He got Bill. He don't want to walk.
Dude,
Look at him. He trying to check it all.
Our team is
Slow down, buddy.
stacked.
Slow down, buddy.
Guys, we are top
We
to bottom.
good.
Top to bottom. the
After
most
this,
complete-
yes. I'll talk to y'all later on tonight. After we get Forfield, I'll talk to y'all later tonight.
We're good, baby. We're good.
Got him.
I'm finna booze. I'm finna booze.
Tell Alpha all the pale ales he wants.
I'm finna booze.
Hooked.
Here you go.
I'm finna booze right now for y'all, right here.
Let's go. Do your thing, Ed. Ed, we'll talk to you later.
Ed, save some for Saturday night. We're gonna celebrate a W.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Let's go. Dude,
All right.
what a draft right now, guys. This is so
Yeah,
complete.
Bro.
Guys, I mean, if it all works out, we end up with Drake Wells. And if Jan is sitting there as our backup quarterback, we walk away with an extra power up and the slot receiver.
Did we get our guy? Did we get our guy?
Yeah, we got Forcefield.
Forcefield.
Oh,
Yep. We
unbelievable.
brought him back. They're already
We got the
texting Tommy
O-line
OJ and all of them.
Dude, we got the O-line and the D-line we wanted.
Yeah,
got
we
the
literally
quarterback.
made one
Huge.
trade so far.
And I'll tell you this right now, all week I was hearing from Hayden. He's like, Jordan Williams is the guy you want. He goes, that would be my number one pick.
Yeah, Jordan
And-
Williams is
oh,
a pretty complete
we got
receiver.
him.
Can we see some footage? Can we see some footage on him?
Yeah,
Yeah, we got more. Let me get
Look
it.
at that 2-point conversion that he did in power ups before.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we did watch
That was
some of
nice.
that.
No, the double move was nice.
Yeah,
So
that
we
was
have-
that
wait,
2
so hold
point.
on. We have Jordan Williams who won the power up. We have
No, he didn't.
No,
win the
they
power
didn't.
up.
No,
They,
he
No,
didn't
he
win
didn't
it.
win.
oh,
But
they
him
tied
and
for
Ed were
first,
paired
and
together.
and Crouch and Williams lost the vote on Twitch.
Yeah, I was
Really?
voting like a motherfucker.
damn. What
Yeah,
against the
I
apes?
was
Did we have-
voting.
were we against the apes or some shit?
Probably.
Yeah.
And then we also have the backup quarterback supposedly that we want. Who else won the power ups this week?
The backup
be-
quarterback, Jan. Lamarcus Carradine
Carradine.
for the Beast.
Yeah. I don't know who the defense was.
Look at that. He was there. The pass was off, but that was a great route by him, man.
He had some distance on him. Yeah. Any other? Did he make any plays?
Oh, we got some. We got some for you.
I love how 21 celebrates the no catch. He's like,
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah. The bad throw worked in my favor.
I was in the
Yeah, that
vicinity.
one we just had on the film list because like he had a real nice route. He was getting like 8 yards cushion, and Roman Tatum is like one of the best DBs in the league, and he was able to beat him 50 yards down the field where it should have been a touchdown. Francois just overthrew him, or whoever it was. Yeah, Francois.
Francois, yeah.
So this was one of his tapes here, that yards after catch. Look at that.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
Fought for that first down.
Their jerseys
too.
are hard to see down
And,
there.
and I talked about this earlier. There's like they're giving him basically 4 or 5 yards anytime he wants it, which there's extreme value to, especially if we're ever making the decision where it's 4th and below 4 and we don't get it. And if we want to use our 5th down, he's an extremely valuable guy because they're just giving him that type of cushion. If they don't give him that cushion and they play up on him because it's like 5th and 2, I would feel very comfortable with Ed taking a shot downfield with one-on-one press coverage with a guy like that. So his speed really kills, and it shows you by how the cornerbacks are really respecting that.
Zappers in
We got 5 minutes and 45 seconds still we're on the
quarterback.
clock. Here was the 2-point conversion video we had on Williams too.
Yeah, this was a nasty route.
Ooh, dirty. Burned.
That's a Madden route.
Oh my God, he ate him up.
Yeah.
That was nice.
So much separation.
Oh, play that again. That was just fun to watch. Oh my God, he ate him.
And the reason he's able to do this is because he has no problem attacking the defender. Like he is running directly at him
He's
and
a big
making the
boy.
defender have to actually question which way he's going. The second the defender turns his hips, he breaks, and the defender's got to take 3 steps before he can get his hips rotated to go the same direction. By that time, he's got 4 yard separation.
It's amazing.
You can't beat that.
Amazing. Guys, we are stacked. We just got to make sure that we don't get overconfident and go out and handle business.
Yeah.
All the same good game plan.
So the Apes roster has been the only roster I've been worried about because they've seemed to put together a pretty good team.
Well, they lost Terence Williams and Jordan Williams, so they had to reorient their entire offense.
Wow.
They just picked up Keaston Fuller, which is actually pretty good for the 3rd round. I'm not sure what they picked earlier.
Anyone have that?
All right. So we got people in the chat. Sir Pizza Sandwich, anybody's asking. So if Wells isn't there, what do we do?
Don't we have other 2 slots we're choosing?
Yeah,
for,
so there's Harrison Dreyer still there. Atarius Giles is still there. I think Harrison Dreyer is probably going to be the next guy.
Harrison Dreyer is our next guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Wells. If Wells isn't there, guys, it's Dreyer. And then we'll be able to come back and grab ourselves that backup quarterback. If Jan is there, I'd love to walk away with another power up this week.
I agree with that. Where is that? Where is he? I don't see him. Jan.
He's on quarterback.
His last name is Jan.
Y-O-N.
Sure he's. Oh, there he is. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, he's in the bottom.
All right, I got 3 guys queued up. I got to make sure.
Who's on the clock now? Should have been stars.
Aces or should have been stars. Or whatever. The colors are the same. Just call them naturally.
The other guy that's also pretty decent, he hasn't gotten many looks because he's been out for a couple weeks, is Malik Elion. If we need a flyer later on.
Yeah, he went high week 1.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just recap this real quick. We're on the clock in 3 minutes. So obviously we all know our QB1 is Ed Crouch. We got Terelle West as our running back. We got Yeti. We've got Jordan Williams. And we locked in the D block and force field. We still need to grab a slot receiver, a backup quarterback, and 1 flex position. So we still have 3 picks.
Zook, do you have a question?
Yes.
Zook, yes, please.
As we have time.
No, you can't go to the bathroom. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Welcome back, bro.
As we have time, I want to ask out loud, are we sure that Wells is better than Harrison Dreyer?
They're, from what we have on Boots on the Ground, they have them equal, side by side. The difference for us in the committee when we've spoken about him is Ed has a good rapport with Wells. Our offensive coordinator was actually his coach in high school and in college. And with the new plays that they've added in this week, that's where he thrives. Jet sweeps and slants across the middle. So it seems like the pieces have aligned that he might be the best choice for us.
Yeah, I tend to agree because I'm looking at the interesting thing about Harrison Dreyer is he was a wide receiver in college, but he had 15 receptions and 127 rushing attempts. So he's really a running back.
Right.
So it would lead me to think like if we're drafting a slot receiver, we would definitely want to go with Wells. I was just looking at Dreyer, and he did produce in college. He was a good player.
Yeah, I think either way you go with either one of them, you're not really losing on either one of them. It's just right now we know for a fact we have a little bit of rapport building being done with Wells with our QB1.
We got another question.
How long to run the clock? Minute 14 seconds?
Yes,
who's
Mike.
Giles?
Jigga, could I please use the bathroom?
Tyrius Giles
you
had
can go to the
a
bathroom. Go ahead,
he
Mike.
played for he played against us actually. He played with the Kingpins. He had the only touchdown the Kingpins had. It was a nice long ball.
Yeah, that bobble catch.
Yeah, the bobbled catch.
Yep.
All right. So
Did he have his eyes open when he threw that ball, though?
How many picks are left, guys?
I don't know if that quarterback had his eyes open. I think he just threw that biatch up.
Yeah, probably.
Guys, is there
40 seconds.
We have 3 picks left.
So it's Wells, Jan, and then what else do we need?
We can get another
Another
flex
flex.
position.
Do we go after a backup running back?
I think at
Terelle,
that point
Woodruff.
we see what's the best available, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
It sounds like maybe Harrison Dreyer, if he's still there, would be
That's a
flex
nice-
that could play both.
Yeah, I like that. I'll go with that.
I like that idea.
Drake Wells, it is.
I mean, so what's going on with Keon? I mean, I know he
Giles
hasn't
better
had a
than
chance.
Wells?
We drafted him 2 weeks in a row. It feels like we're not getting a lot of opportunities from Keon.
Correct.
Yeah, I think last week he had some whiffed blocks, but yeah, he didn't get very many routes ran. But I thought somebody picked him up.
I mean, it's a quick game. We run a lot.
All right, we're on the clock, guys. Is Wells available? Drake
Yes.
Wells is there. Lock it in.
It should be.
Wells. Lock it in. Lock it in. Drake.
Coach Leota on the
Wells.
main Twitch stream is saying that the Zappers are the only team that don't have an offense or a defense.
The draft is over, and
boy.
they don't have an offense or a defense.
They just play with a bunch of skill
All right, lock it
positions and hope
in.
Johnny can run back there.
Oh, Dreyer was gone anyway, so who took him just now?
Must be the Glacier Boys.
every play.
Because
He must have
Terelle
got a few
Woodruff
picks
is
ago.
with Justin Times went with the should have been Stars. Vidal Woodruff went
Yeah.
with the Board Apes, and then on the clock is Glacier Boys. So we'll probably assume.
There goes Keon
Alright.
Thomas. It looks like. Or no,
Did we
that's
let
not
everybody
him.
in Discord know? Drake Wells?
Yep, Dreyer. Yep, Dreyer.
Drake
Dreyer,
Wells.
yeah.
Yep.
I do like the Vidal pick for the Apes. I think he's a solid backup.
Yeah, I agree. I really like Vidal. I think he's a great dude.
Oh, what's his
All
name
right.
got picked? Our other guy got picked.
Yep.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
I mean, but this is a perfect example, right, Drew? Like all the research we're doing, we had these two side by side, guys. And look, they're literally getting picked up same round, side by side. So the ratings are there.
It's good.
And
You know, and I
amazing
love
thing is we got D block, and we were debating between taking Wells and D block. We ended up getting both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're literally
Who's
running
that?
back our same team.
It's a
We
perfect
traded
draft.
Herring for Jordan Williams.
Which is like we don't.
Basically,
Honestly, from what I've been
correct.
hearing, Jordan Williams is the number one guy. That's what I've been hearing.
Yeah, like I like Herring a lot, but I think Jordan Williams could be a better player, right? So
Yeah, like we got it's like, and then we ran back the rest of the squad, which is amazing.
Yeah, and that was the whole point, right? We
That's-
all knew we wanted to keep Yeti. We made that choice. We thought it was the best for us.
Totally.
And we knew, hey, make sure we keep an eye on 4 or 5 top receivers and see who's going to be there at number 5. So I think all in all, it's working out really good for this draft.
Great draft. Great draft.
Are we still the
then
night
we kept our-
MGM game on Saturday?
Yes.
Yeah, what happened? They
Yes,
changed-
we're still
they
at 9
changed-
o'clock.
What made them
Yeah.
make the change? Does anyone know why the change?
Ed
Something
said
about
we
Manziel, but it doesn't
Manziel
make
might not
sense.
play.
Well, but it doesn't make sense to me.
I
Like,
think it's
why?
something that's
Why would
unannounced.
we not flip to the first slot with Aoki? Why are we playing cross division all of a sudden?
Wait, and who
Yeah,
we playing?
I think
I
a lot
think
of it
it'll
probably
make
has to do with
sense
the
now.
TO zone.
It'll
We're playing
make sense
we're
after the
playing
fact.
Manziel?
Yeah.
Oh
if he
shit!
plays.
I think I know why. I think I know why.
I think I know why.
I think I know why. I think I know.
It's
why.
like if this happens, we're going to be on Sports Center.
Yeah, if it happens, we'll be on SportsCenter. There's a
Like
reason.
all over it.
Yeah, totally. I can't
Oh,
say
what
anything yet.
happened?
I don't want to blow it up. But
Okay.
I understand. Okay. That might actually be a really
It's
good
like-
sign for these guys.
Yeah.
Easter eggs? Is this like an Easter egg hunt? Do I have to go searching now? Go Google some
No,
stuff?
you
it's
just
called.
have to-
It's called. You're hitting that part of the show where you know Drew starts getting spoilers out of the system. It's like, no,
Yeah.
stop it now, Drew. No, I said no, sir.
No.
I'm not blowing this one. This one's too good.
It's called Drew on Twitter Spaces.
Yeah.
Sir,
And it
today
may or
you
may
guys
not happen,
find
right?
out.
It's
May or
not,
may
it's not
not.
a guarantee.
But that would be. But
We
I
don't know
like,
for sure.
I like that the setup is there for it to happen. It would be pretty cool.
And so, yeah, we're the
So
second
hit-
game,
so
right?
now
In
we're
the,
starting to see
in the
some
night
of
game.
defenses and offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for the flex guys, I think we should try to take someone who has like the most upside, right? Because they still could be a keeper. They're going to be with us. Someone who's kind of like under heralded, but could really be a stud player.
So, has
Is there
anybody
any
done any
good
more
picks left?
research on Antonio Turner?
Correct.
Why is he not being scooped up? Antonio, he's really a talented dude. Really is. He was on
Yeah.
the NBCLX thing. He got voted into the league as well. Combine, he looked great. The dude plays quarterback, wide receiver. He's plays really big for a smaller guy. I'm shocked that he's not getting the attention, and I think he might be a really good sleeper pick as well.
I think that I
Well,
definitely agree with all
guys-
those things there, especially with some plays. The pick that might be the smart pick is taking the backup quarterback now.
Wait,
Now
I-
that the
so
few
I just
coming off
got, I
the
just
board.
got a message about that. If
Jan,
you guys want some
hands down.
major, if you guys want some major trade leverage, and this was the guy I heard about during the week. Jason Stewart is a better quarterback than several team starters. Just a thought.
He also has 100,000 followers on Instagram.
True?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played well for us in that preseason.
He played great
Yeah,
for us
he
in the
got
preseason.
I don't know.
But
so
how does his reads look?
But if we do get Jan, we get that power up, right?
Which might be
Yeah,
that's,
correct.
that's more important out of a backup quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going through every single receiver on the FCF website, and I'm looking at like height.
Yeah,
There's
how
only
many
two
big
guys
guys?
that are 6'5", I feel like.
Honestly, I think like for the backup quarterback, I'd rather have Jan's best friend, Ed's best friend, and a power up than
Yeah.
like a slightly better backup quarterback. I think.
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree.
How often?
I
does he
understand the
even-
whole possibly having a trade chip, but I think with the way our team's going to play again this weekend, we've got several trade chips, and
Yeah.
they're not getting any of them. Get the hell
And
out
it's
of my
like
people!
it's like
Who's
if we
Colin
trade him away,
Andrews?
then what are we gonna do as a backup?
Look, if we don't
Well, it's-
have to trade away, we don't have to.
Right.
It's-
You know,
I
like
think it's chemistry. I think
these
we're
other
at that
teams might
point
be
now where it's
trying,
like,
but
ooh.
we don't need to.
Toby, who's this?
Colin Andrews went early. He went
Oh.
at the
Yeah,
end of
he's right
round
there.
one, actually.
Oh, damn it!
But he's another guy that was in that NBCLX thing. He hasn't gotten a ton of opportunities, but he's definitely good. Obviously, he got drafted high.
Guys,
Or what is
um,
NBCLX?
They had like a FCF
That's who-
road to the
yeah.
FCF in the beginning.
and they
of the season.
broadcast all of FCF stuff, all that we're seeing. They're the Peacock where it's streaming as well. So they did a
Yeah,
road
got
to the
it. I didn't-
FCF, and
But
it was voted.
They did something with players.
Yeah, it was almost like a reality, like a
Yeah.
reality skit in the beginning where they had 6 players and then 3, like they all did man ups and did stuff, and then the fans voted on which 3 made it into the league. Like it was kind of like the bubble players of who's going to get in the league. So it was
Did
like a
anyone
one
draft
night
Joseph
production.
Boykin?
What's that?
Did anyone draft Joseph Boykin?
Joseph
Yeah,
Boykin is
Boykin.
franchise.
First
Here's-
tag.
So another thought. He's like, listen. He's like, I agree with you thinking in terms of a power. I said a power up plus a starting quarterback, best friend is worth more than a backup we probably lose in the waiver wire. He's like, okay, I like that thinking. In that case, I'd probably go with a wide receiver first because Jan should still be there.
It is surprising that
Then he goes,
Stewart
wait a
hasn't
second.
got drafted
He
yet.
goes, actually go with Jan first, secure the power up.
Yeah.
Then he goes, I think about what do you think about Antonio Turner?
I was just looking at him. on here. I think because Toby just brought him up. And I'm looking at him on the FCF website. He's 6
It's just
foot.
unfortunate he doesn't have a lot of film, and the practice film is really hard to decipher through. Like you got to really spend a lot of time.
So
breaking
I'll throw
through
this
that.
out there as well on Antonio Turner. When we saw him at the combine, my wife was with me at that combine. And my wife was one of the ones at the combine that said, I think you guys should pay attention to that guy. He's throwing, but when I saw him come out as a wide receiver, he's killing it. And she was voting for him in the app when it was the road to the FCF. He's talented. Has a mouth on him, right?
Definitely.
Cockiness, which is great. But I think
Sounds like a
if we
night.
grab Jan now and Turner's there on the wraparound, that's what we do. But
The only other one I
we
would
all
consider-
agree, get the power up locked in now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Anything you can do to because right now, obviously we're filling out a team, but we have players that we know are our stars. Anything that we can use from these guys we're drafting to actually directly help out those guys, which a lot more help via a power up. That's definitely the move.
Hey, Ed.
What's up?
We're going to roll with Jan next.
Yeah, that's what we got to do.
How do you feel about Antonio Turner?
He ready. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Ed's already got him there.
That's my
Ed,
that's one of my quarterbacks gonna keep it under me. I'm trying to he got the potential. He gonna be something. So that's
How do you feel about Antonio Turner as another wide receiver?
I don't even know who that is. I told y'all know I don't know everybody.
Okay.
Ed don't know nobody except numbers.
Yeah, unless y'all good with him, I'm good with him.
All right, tell Jan to start getting ready to walk to the damn tunnel. We about to call his name.
The Zappy's about to grab a running back.
Yeah, they just got another running back. I'm so confused.
Are we
Yeah,
too thin on running
guess
guys,
they
are we too thin on running back here? We don't really have one. I mean, listen, I love T West, but do we need a backup?
No, we got one. His name's Ed Crouch is the backup running back.
And I think Drake Wells could probably go back there in a emergency situation.
Yeah, the slot receivers can play running back.
Hey, Ed.
Yeti. We can put Yeti at running back.
Yeah, and Ed, who has the most rushing touchdowns in the league right now?
And rushing yards.
I got the most yards, and
I know you do.
Top for rushing touchdowns.
We don't need another running back, Drew.
All us got full. Yeah,
Come on,
all us
Drew.
got full touchdowns, but I got the most yards.
All right, Zapper's got shutdown squad against us.
They might get Jan.
That's
We might
light.
lose him.
That's light.
Who's going? Kingpins, maybe?
We might lose Jan right now.
Yeah, shutdown squad.
No, champ.
All right.
Champ, you play me now. Yeah, I'm back for y'all. You thought I was playing y'all again.
Shutdown squad is the one with the two good corners.
Yeah, good corners. Yep, Osborne and Tatum. But if there ain't no pressure.
I think
Don't ma-
Jan's
it
gonna
don't-
get scooped up.
But we just had film of Jordan Williams making Roman Tatum not look like a top DB in this league.
Bro, it don't. Toby, you can agree with it. It doesn't matter how good of a cornerback you are. If you have to stay out and cover somebody for 7 seconds, because the quarterback has all day to throw, it doesn't matter how good you are.
Guys,
playing
I
in the
think we
back
need to
end.
regroup. Jan
Did
is
Jan
taken,
get
right?
Did Jan
Kingpins?
go?
All right, then go, guys. Go with Stewart. Stewart's the guy.
He
No,
already
Stewart
Stewart
just went.
got grabbed.
Wait,
Jan
Stewart-
is still there.
Oh, then we got Jan again. You're saying?
Yeah,
Jan's still there.
Jan's still there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so we're good.
Yeah, Jan's still on my queue.
Okay, it's not showing up on my queue.
And are we sure Turner over Giles? Are we?
I got
Do we not feel Giles has the same amount of potential?
Yeah.
Stewart looks so happy to be there.
Unfortunately, I don't know. I don't know enough to distinguish between the two.
Yeah, I think
I'm
we get
actually
that
trying to
power up.
get
That's
in
the
here.
most important piece.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about
that's
after.
what we need.
This pick
We
is
got
worth
it.
For sure right now.
Guys, this pick
Why
is
does he
worth
look so
power.
sad?
This
Yeah,
pick
Jan,
is
He's not a
yeah.
starter anymore.
This
He's
pick is
not
worth.
paid.
I would spend this pick on literally a blank player with the power up. That's how.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah.
what we got to do.
All
But
day.
this is going to be
Everybody
a
else not-
quarterback that I don't
everybody
think
else
we
not
ever
thinking
let
like
go
that.
to the waiver wire.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, we're locked in on Jan.
Yeah. Okay.
All right,
sounds
1
good.
minute on the clock. Let's get in the chat. Let's get in the Discord. Tell everybody quarterback Jan is the next pick.
Can I be selfish and ask if Blades is voting right now? Because he just side onto the side.
All right, I'm gonna get back on when he get picked up.
Ed's the man. Is any other quarterback involved like with us, man? That's what I'm saying. This community is so
Hey, that's the only
upfront and
way we
so
gonna win
forward.
championships. Being involved with each other.
That's it, baby. The championships. That's what we're about.
Yeah, we ain't
And
talking about
that's what
regular
we're about,
season
baby.
games. We talking about championships.
Championships.
Playoffs.
Yeah, nah, championships.
Championships.
I mean, looking at
Week
how the
by
board
week championships.
All right, 15 seconds. We're on the clock in
15,
12
boys.
seconds.
All right, I'm putting
All
the
right.
pick in.
I love Mike's background. Mike, are you in a
Hi,
forest
Ed,
right now?
appreciate you.
All right, Ed.
No, in my apartment, which has a lot of plants.
Oh, he gone. Jan is gone. Jan
Oh,
is gone, boys.
Jan's gone?
Yep, drafted by the Beasts.
Beast got him.
Jan's gone.
Damn.
All right,
All right,
quickly.
regroup. What are we doing?
All right, so I have this.
Giles?
I like Giles.
Wait, guys, I have Keon. The best receivers available, in my opinion, are Keon Thomas and Atarius Giles.
I like Terry's
I like
Giles.
Giles.
Yeah, I like
Giles.
Giles.
All right, Giles, it is.
Giles. I was secretly wanting Giles, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
But guys, we have no backup quarterback.
He's the
Wait, any
Ride or die with Ed.
There's still
One-
Devon
one-
Gibbons is still on the board.
Wait, one question:
And,
is there any other power up still available?
No.
No.
Giles is who busted the shutout against us.
Yeah, I wanted Giles the whole time,
Yeah,
so
that
I'm
was that.
ecstatic.
All right, let's go get him.
They're playing.
So, hey,
99.
Richie and Toby, Matt, you guys are constantly in the Coaches Club NFT with us.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of talk about Chris Barrett. Have we seen much from that guy? I mean, people were calling to see him. I just didn't see much coming out of him.
He was the quarterback that came in for the Beasts. Who did he come in for? The Zappers.
He came in for the Zappers at QB3.
And threw that quick. Yeah, and he threw that quick pick six, but he didn't look like he was on page. He didn't look like he was on the page with the receivers. He sort of just like throwing to it, wasn't really ready to throw the ball around. He was the guy who I caught the football with. Me and Toby caught the football.
I was about to say that. I was wrong last time. That's who it was, Chris Barrett.
Yeah. I mean, he throws the ball well. I mean, I don't know if he's really had that opportunity, right? I mean, we don't know if these quarterbacks can really get out there and sling until the live fire starts coming. And he got thrown into it at QB3 with the Zapper scenario. I mean, and then the one, if you watch the one he throws, the guy looks like he was running a dig route, and it looked like the receiver held up short on it instead of following through in his route. So, I mean, backup quarterbacks, what are we thinking? I mean,
so
I think
is
Devon Gibbons is probably pretty decent still on the board, but I haven't seen a lot of them.
I mean, at the end of the day, we probably want somebody that's mobile, hostile, agile, right? I mean, that's the end of the day. If we got to try and if something does happen, we want to make sure that somebody can at least come in with their quick feet.
You want someone who plays as close to a style as Ed. That's what you tend to see the most successful teams. It's not the overall best backup. It's the teams that have to change the least. So we kind of know what Ed likes to do.
I was about to say, I'm a Ravens fan. We had RG3 as our backup.
Then
they
Tyler
weren't planning
Huntley.
on him being able to do shit back there except for know what needed to happen.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
Who was the quarterback that had come in last year? That other guy that was really
Tyler
fast.
Huntley.
Tyler Huntley is, but he is
Yeah.
he should be a starter somewhere. He's good.
Fast. I was watching him run, man.
Him and Lamar played in high school against each other.
No way. That's pretty cool.
Yo, also
They're like
Yeti can throw. All goes wrong. Like we can.
Where was all those trick plays that they were all doing last week? I mean, granted, we didn't need any of those trick plays, but we never saw big toss Hoss. We never saw that play come across the flip and run calls. There was a few different.
We're getting
plays
more
that I saw
plays
that I
and
was
new
calling.
plays, but there's been confirmation that some of those plays that were switched up by the players have been fined.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's fan controlled. You're not supposed to just go out there and just do whatever you want. So there were some players that had some conversations and some fines for going off script completely from what was actually called in from the fans. So it goes against their
namely
agreement.
the Galloway touchdown throw.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say specifically, but yeah.
Was that
Galloway, the one where he got the running back through the ball?
Yeah.
That was
Did they
pretty
call
dumb.
that in the puddle though, or like did he just ad lib that?
Probably.
No,
He
they
was
had to
saying-
have called it in the huddle. The
That's
receiver was
a
ready.
call play. Chris
like
Barrett off the
Gibbons.
board.
Are you guys open to trying something different? I'm gonna plead my case here, okay? And I'm gonna plead it to you guys and to the chat. We didn't even discuss this in our meeting, but since we pretty much nailed this draft the way we did, and I think you guys are gonna disagree with me, but I want to make a statement this weekend. I want to be the team that grabs Danny Southwick and has him come in as a backup quarterback when Ed needs a second, to let Danny throw a couple of dimes to Williams and show that he can be a good pocket guy. With our O-line, I think we have it. Matt, stop shaking your head. No, that's it. You're going in timeout too. All right, Matt is eliminated from the conversation.
Don't piss off the man with the fucking power. All right.
Look, Gibbons can do the read option, but he can't throw the ball. All right, you're looking at these backup options.
I do
Laquan
not
Horton, we agree.
I do not want Southwick at all. Southwick is just.
Well, no. Well, Jigga's point is, I think that he's going to make is that in the game that he played, he had to force the ball to TO. Like that's not a good way to play.
I'm not asking exactly. I'm not asking for Southwick to come in to be some running guy. I'm asking Southwick to come in for a series while Ed rests because he's been making sure we're one butt.
I do feel like Southwick would be a guy that could come in and make sure the ball doesn't get turned over.
No,
Exactly.
no.
What do you mean?
There's only two guys left on the board.
That was the backup on the
What about
backup on the team last week that we played.
What about
Yeah. That was him.
No.
Oh, he was there backup. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Look at the three options we have, and I'm
That's because
voting
he was going
Danny.
against Slick Nick. He's had to go against that defense now 2
Yeah,
weeks in a row.
guys, I'm telling you, we take the chance. It's our backup. Give Danny the chance.
We
He's
have
the
to. He's
oldest
the only
guy at the
QB left.
FCS.
It's too late. Devon Gibbons just went.
What about Pearson? Well, who's
We
here?
got Brandon Pearson and Laquan
Oh,
Horton.
Okay.
Yo, I
yeah,
like
right.
Gibbons.
Devon Horton hasn't gone.
Southwick.
All right.
Jigga, I love you. He was terrible
He was
last
so bad.
week.
Yes.
Yeah, but
I know.
what?
But
Have you
he
met our
could also
defense?
be a guy that's on the team now that has like decent ability to explain to Ed how to make reads, how to make good decisions. Like it could
Guys,
be
he
a
hasn't had a
decent
chance
mind
to-
in the
That's
team's
fair.
huddle.
It's fair. No, he's a veteran quarterback, right?
He is. He's
He
40
was
years old,
bad.
but he has
was
a
bad.
good arm.
Isn't he an indoor champion?
He's been up
like
against
indoor
the
records
D
and
block
stuff?
I mean, the
twice.
problem is we saw LaQuinn, we saw Horton. He played like he came in, ended the game, threw a pick, like right away.
Yeah,
Threw
terrible
short,
throw
just
too.
short.
Danny.
Southwick.
Yeah, come on, guys.
This
Let's do it.
escalated so
Everybody
quickly.
get in at it. Yeah, Toby, we got him.
Everyone
See,
shut up.
the thing is that this isn't a guy that we do have to keep. So we have an unprotected player every single week.
Southwick is gonna be
And
the
we
most-
know there's more QBs coming in the
Let's
league.
do the Southwick chant again and get a screenshot of it.
Southwick is going to be the
Duke's just gonna leave.
No.
Bye, Zook.
Southwick's going to be the most waived player in the history of FCF.
Poor Danny.
Hey,
Poor
chat,
Danny.
do me a favor. We're going to do this one more time. We've got 2 minutes. We're going to do our Southwick chant. Can you guys just type Southwick in the chat and chant with us? I want to
And
clip
someone
the crap
take a
out of this.
screenshot.
Here we go.
Southwick.
Duke said it too. Oh.
Peanuts bugging out.
Wait.
Yeah, look, we got GWR
not doing
jumping
it.
in with some Danny chants.
Of course,
I would
you-
rather
we're
a
all
guy
chanting
have to
Southwick,
sit
of
back
course,
there
GWR
and
goes
take
Danny.
sacks than throw picks because he just doesn't know what to do with the ball.
2 minutes, 13 seconds.
Southwick
boys.
has no problem throwing the ball at the sweet
Please.
boxes. He has done it at least 2 times per game.
Rally behind.
What
Pearson is Pearson good?
Toby just wants that
I
game
really
ball.
want
He wants
Southwick
to
so that
catch
we can do the
that
Southwick
ball
chant.
in the
Yeah.
box.
Guys, what happens if in the game? What happens if during the game?
wish I
the
could be
crowd
there this
starts
week for that.
chanting Southwick, like if this becomes a thing.
That'd be amazing. I mean,
It
if
was
we
started
start
with
going-
us.
It's a huge problem because then we're going to lose a lot of games.
No, then we can trade him.
Zook,
Let's build him up as like a major entity, a guy to
Should
be
we leak,
desired.
should we leak a
Yeah,
story
little-
that Southwick was supposed to be an NFL quarterback, but like
He made it. He made it, boys.
Southwick
On
made
the
it.
clock. Minute
Southwick,
24
my pick.
seconds.
Southwick.
Wait, and by the way, guys, we
No.
have to pick a backup quarterback, right? There's no
Exactly.
Yeah, he's the only.
Yep.
Right.
Wait.
It's not-
He's 40?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh,
Hey,
God.
say something, Zook.
Zach-
back.
Southwick.
Yeah, Southwick.
veteran, baby, veteran.
And
The little mini Drew Brees.
and his stepfather was Larry King. That's the other tidbit.
His stepfather was George Washington.
Welcome to the team, Danny.
I'm in on him. I'm very in on him.
Very good.
Oh, Force Field, the apes
He's a
copying
fan
us.
favorite.
Weird
Yeah,
how the
I
apes
think
like copy
we
us.
would have been able to get Forcefield as the auto pick again. Like if we wouldn't have picked them, I think that like they're just so undesired by everybody, but they play so well for us that we would just get them.
Shouldn't we have asked Ed who he wants as his backup?
He
Yeah,
wanted
he
it was
wanted
Jan.
Jan.
He
That's
wanted
his
Jan.
boy. But
We
Jan's
missed
gone.
it.
Yo, Southwick. My God.
We're
Southwick.
going
Yo, I
Southwick.
can't
I thought you were
believe
about to
that
say
he
my
had
guy.
NFL looks and decided to go with the FCF.
I mean,
10
FCF is
seconds.
The best arm in the FCF. He's got a cannon.
He does have a cannon. He's just been on crappy teams. He's now coming
Well,
to
when
Knights
we
of
talked to
Degen.
Coach Leota said after week 1, he said that he was most like not concerned, but he was like most like surprised by how well under like throwing that Southwick. He's like when he's in practice, he throws
Around
the
the clock.
best ball out there out of every.
Yeah, Liotta had him as the #1 QB in week 1, which is crazy.
So we're
but
going with
at least
Southwick.
he had some highly, rated value at some point.
It's
So we
it's-
defaulted into Southwick.
Can someone text Danny and walk out the? Can anybody text Danny real quick and tell him to do the Southwick chant himself out the tunnel?
Hold on.
Get
Ed back.
Southwick.
Hold on.
Southwick. Tell Ed to tell him to start doing double fist pumps. If he does that, I quit.
One thing is I don't know how Ed's going to feel. Although Ed should know this means we expect him to be in every play that matters.
Obviously. You can't hand it over, Ed. You're in all the way, buddy.
Southwick's only allowed to come in when we're up by 3 or 4 touchdowns.
I genuinely think if it, like, God forbid, Ed goes down, it was going to play quarterback for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, but what about Laquan Horton? We didn't want to just keep him, right? I guess it doesn't matter.
He
now.
was bad last week.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't matter now. Thanks, Drew. We did the Southwick chant too many times.
So wait, did we
see
get him?
smoke in the chat?
Did we
Yeah.
get him?
Y'all been smoking my shit.
Yo,
since
he
time.
may not. I'm happy with he may not be our backup quarterback. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
What do you think he's going to be? Our offensive coordinator?
Just there.
He's like our team guru. He just needs to help move and meld them all
Hey.
together.
Hey, when he does throw that touchdown,
Give him like
he
a
comes in
Merlin
as a
hat.
back-
He's like
a
our
Merlin
Jonas
What
Haslam.
odds are we setting on the table that Southwick comes in at some point and throws a touchdown?
Dude,
I'm saying yes. I will take everybody up.
I think
Jiggy,
when
you're taking it
someone-
just 1-to-1? Are we not laying
I'm
odds?
buying a round of shots. Week 5, I'm buying a round of drinks if he doesn't throw a touchdown.
If Southwick
Gotta be like 6-to-1. 6-to-1, you'll take that he throws a touchdown?
I just want to hear what the commentators say about us taking him.
I think that
It sounds like if they're going to make a movie about FCF, it's going to be about Danny's touchdown throw.
Oh yeah, I think that people in our team messes
Fourth
up.
quarter, win the game.
They have to go sit on. They have to go sit on Danny's knee, and he has to give him some advice.
Let's show
You
him
thought
some
this
love
was
on
about the
Twitter. Let's
FCF?
show Southwick some love on
Like
Twitter.
fatherly advice.
Ultimately, it was always about Danny.
Anyone listening, let's show Southwick some love.
Where's it? What's his Twitter? Does he even have a Twitter? Does he know what Twitter is?
Let me see.
I mean, I just learned what Twitter was a few weeks ago. So
I missed it. Did Danny walk out?
no, he didn't walk out yet.
He declined the pick.
The Knights of Degen have been given 2
they're not even-
first-round picks.
They're not even walking down anymore. They said, screw it. You guys don't even need to walk down anymore. Who cares?
He's not even talking about the picks either.
Did somebody just wheel
Yeah, he's like,
Danny
whatever.
Southwick out? Did Danny Southwick just get wheeled out?
Yeah.
Someone lost the
Thank you.
cane in the back, so he couldn't come out.
All right, boys. That's how we draft a team, boys.
how we
This
drafted.
draft board played out exactly kind of how we talked about it on Monday.
It's a perfect draft.
Yeah, we got our guy in
Got
the
our
end, Danny Southwick.
We knew he would fall this far.
We knew it.
Man, appreciate
We have some
everybody
inside
hanging out.
information.
That's the end of the
boys.
draft. Appreciate everybody hanging out in the chat, guys. Love seeing all of us come together and do this. Appreciate all of you guys hanging out with us. Drew, Mike, Matt, Toby, Zook, Coach
And
Richie.
are we doing these for the waiver drafts as well?
Yeah.
Hell
Our
yeah.
show will be on every
There's only
Wednesday
one way to
during
go
this
out.
season.
Southwick.
Southwick. Cut the stream. Hurry. No Zook with no Zook.